Baldur's Gate, having traveled down the River Chainthar to destroy this orb of the undead. And you guys had a long, grueling fight with this orb that seemed to continually animate and create undead. And you guys smashed the orb. And inside the orb, there was this little weird baby fetus thing, a little baby atropole. And it started screaming when it came out of the orb. And you guys thought that it needed to die as well. However, also arriving into this dungeon was a lich named Asarak. And he didn't take too kindly to you guys killing that baby fetus thing. And he took the atropole by the gangly umbilical cord and swore to you all that something bad was about to happen, and that your souls apparently belonged to him. He also said that he was collecting some things, in which he had, and took the little clay doll, he took the atropole, and then he also took the life of your good friend Wowwox. With a single word, Wowwox dropped to the ground. You guys quickly fled from that dungeon after the lich teleported away, and you'd met back up with Syndra, who then took you back to Baldur's Gate. You'd spent several days recovering, and you'd learn that Wowwox was unable to be brought back from the dead. And rumor has it that a curse has swept Faerun, a vile and powerful curse that is affecting anyone who's ever been brought back from the dead. They are slowly deteriorating every day. Not only that, those that have died in the last couple of days are unable to be brought back. And all the clerics in Faerun and all the scholars and sages, they are baffled as to what is happening. However, you guys had discovered that the source of this death curse is a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger, which is said to originate in Chult. And Asarak also beckoned you all to come to Chult to try and stop the curse. He seemed to really want you guys to come into Chult, and almost as if he was playing with you guys or testing you all. Anyway, you'd been sequestered by Syndra Sylvain, your contact and quest giver, to try and find the source of this death curse and put an end to it. She's offering you guys one rare magic item of your choice each, and she also gave you an extra 50 gold pieces each to help your expedition. You're not the only adventurers that she's employed. She spoke about this company of the Yellow Banner and many other adventurers groups that have already headed out into the jungle in the last couple of days while you guys were recovering. However, no word back from any of them yet. We ended the session with you guys accepting Syndra's quest and being teleported off to Port Nyanzaru. That is where we're starting today's session. Alright, you guys are teleported here, so you're 1 second, you're inside Syndra's lovely mansion in the upper city in Baldur's Gate, and the next second you appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun. As you stand around near Syndra, your vision fades as you feel yourself being lifted, and then all of a sudden you're teleported here, and you can immediately feel this oppressive heat bearing down on you. It is so humid here. It's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, and the humidity levels are very high. It's a little bit breezy where you are, however, There are these familiar sounds of a harbour, and there are some creaking ropes, some slapping waves, and heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones. You can hear voices, the mingle of voices shouting and cursing, and an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mixes with the wharfside smell of fish, tar, and canvas. You look around, you see colourful buildings. You see Choltons, lightly dressed, exotic-looking people. And beyond all that, Port Nyanzaru is an explosion of colour. You see buildings painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink. The walls are adorned with murals. They portray reptiles, and mythic heroes, and other strange creatures. Every building sports baskets, clay urns, filled full of colourful flowers, or the buildings are draped in leafy, flowering vines. Everything has this unique vibe to it, a very tropical vibe. You see minstrels in bright coloured clothing, adorned with feathers and shells, performing on street corners. You see multicoloured pennants and sun awnings fluttering atop the city walls. There is a crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes. They race past you as you arrive. They're squealing in delighted terror as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. As you take all this in, it's quite a culture shock for mostly everyone in this party. Sindra turns to you all and through her mask just whispers, "Step back!" As you look to your left down the street, you see coming underneath a stone awning is a variety of dinosaurs, a triceratops, a large raptor bounding towards you with Choltons riding on their back. You guys step back out of the way to avoid being trampled, and these dinosaurs whoosh past you all. "Dinosaur races," Sindra says. You're not sure. You only see two dinosaurs go by you, so they seem to be the two that you saw are neck and neck. There's a female riding on the back of a large beast. It has almost like a beak-shaped face. It's about 8 feet tall. It's got large black horns jutting out the top of its head, another smaller horn up near its nose. It's painted with this tribalistic patterns of green paint, and it was neck and neck with a dark-skinned man with dreadlocks. He has a bone necklace of teeth around his neck. He's very lightly dressed, and he's on the back of this four-limbed, large reptilian creature that also has some blue and yellow tribal paint on it. It has these awkwardly hinged back legs, and it is trotting forward with its other large gangly arms dangling down with its claws. Sorry, Conservative, your mic is reverberating a little bit there. Thank you. And yeah, they're neck and neck, and they whoosh straight by you. They're going very quickly, so as soon as you see them, you step back and they head off up a street. So this is a map of Port Nyanzaru. Wherever your tokens are on the map, I will presume that's where your characters are. So make sure you're moving them around to keep up with what's going on. Sindra, after stepping back, you sort of step back onto some docks, and to the south of you, you just see this large harbour with a stony rock wall and a bridge spanning a section of the bay. There are also some prestigious looking yachts around this area. You can see grand vessels, which must cost a tremendous amount of gold. And they're all lined up here looking very stately. You see servants tending to the ships and also moving in and out, also loading cargo onto some of these ships. And Sindra coughs a little bit. Here is a map of Port Nyanzaru. And she gives you a map with a number of locations, 25 different locations on them. You can see it on this map here. So you can use that to navigate. This will help you get around the city. You should start by securing rooms for yourselves. The Thundering Lizard is decent. It's down near the Red Bazaar, if you're looking for a raucous time. Or if you're looking for something quieter, I would suggest Kaya's House of Repose. All the inns are found in the Red Bazaar. I'm going to go and meet with my friend, Lakanga. His villa is nearby, up in the Merchant Prince's villas. It's in the Merchant's Ward. I'm fine. Huh. I may be sick, but I'm not incapable. I'm going to be staying at Wakanga's house. You should. Yes. If you wish, yes. I'll be at Wakanga's villa. But explore the city. Get to know its people. Port Nyanzaru holds a wealth of adventure in its own. You'll need to customize yourself and acclimate to the environment here. I do have to prepare this map for you all. I will see you soon, I guess. And she heads up to a large set of stone stairs and just disappears from view. We can't hear you. Yeah, I've got you up to 200%, and there's I can pretty much hear nothing. Sounds like you're sitting across the other side of the room from your microphone. Yeah, it's not any different. Make a perception check. It's pretty far away. This map is accurate, so it's over 500 feet away from you guys. It's still not coming through any louder. And your mic's also reverberating there, Carlos. Every time you're... let me check. Hold on your push button. Test. You can still hear it. All right. Yeah, you take a look at this statue out in the bay, and it seems to be of some sort of Cholton warrior, a very resplendent looking man. He wears a loincloth. It seems to be made of some sort of animal skin, perhaps a leopard skin pattern. He has a full headdress of feathers. He has some shells and a necklace of some creature's teeth around his neck. He has this massive cape, and it's very, very furry. It also has these brown, slender tails intertwined along the cape, and he's got a large oval-shaped shield and a long bladed spear in his hand. Let me check. Test. Hold on your push button. Test. I can still hear it. It's just your headphones coming through your mic. But anyway, it's only when you push the button, so. Alright, so oh yeah, it's really loud now. Are you using a laptop microphone? I guess it's just coming through the microphone a little bit. I mean, it's nothing crazy bad anyway. So yeah, you guys just find yourself in this strange foreign city, and you've got no idea really about any of the locations. Turig, you may have been here a couple of times, but Bateri goblins sort of live in the wilds of Cholt. They don't particularly mingle around too much with the civilized folk. They'll come just to trade every now and again. So I'd dare say your knowledge of Port Nyanzaru is kind of limited. Yeah, that's better.
But Turig doesn't know that. Turig thinks he knows all about the city because he's been here before.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much asking him if he knows the city and place to stay.
Alright, well, Sindra just told you guys 2 places to stay. But, Turig, yeah, you, your knowledge is of, I mean, you probably just stay out in the jungle somewhere. But the 2 taverns that Sindra just mentioned, you've heard of them. You may have stayed at one of them once or twice.
I was gonna lead the party to the stables where they hold the dinosaurs for the dinosaur races.
Okay, well, you guys are free to do whatever you want.
So I'm going to go to the stables where the dinosaur races, or the races for the dinosaur.
Okay, where is that? You look around, Turig, and you've probably never even been to this particular area of the city. This is the merchants district. It's where all the merchant princes live, and all the wealthy residents of Port Nyanzaru live. Particularly this docks here is the Royal Docks. And yeah, just like your whatever knowledge you have as a player of Port Nyanzaru will be about the extent of your knowledge that your character has, being a Bateri goblin.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say if you're not sure of a place to stay, let's go to where Sindra told us to go and secure a room first.
Good call.
Turig, follow.
So let's head over to... What is that?
She said
Oh.
the red bazaar.
So 18.
Alright, you guys start making your way through the colorful streets of Port Nyanzaru. You head into the underpass and you see many new buildings that the style of architecture is like nothing you've ever seen before. You pass colorful market stalls with large canopies with bright red and white checkered colors, and there are just rows and rows and rows of tables, hundreds of different tables with all sorts of merchants trying to sell their wares. You head through into a slightly less expensive looking part of the city, away from the merchants district, and you head down into the market ward. Everything's a little bit more rustic here, and you come upon the Red Bazaar. Before you arrive at the Red Bazaar, this woman, she calls out to you all. Hello there. Hello. You be foreigners. She immediately recognized you guys as foreigners from the way you're dressed. The woman is Cholton, by the looks of it. She wears some light brown robes, very loose fitting, and immediately those of you in medium or heavy armor are feeling very uncomfortable. You look at the way she's dressed and it's very minimalistic. Just this short walk, which taken you guys about 30 minutes trudging through the city, has already started to make you guys feel extremely overheated. It's so hot here, it's so humid.
Wait, we can't even use medium armor as well?
Yes. Those of you in medium
I thought
and
it was
heavy armor.
only heavy armor.
This is literally the first time you've ever been in Port Nyanzaru, so that's what you're experiencing.
Just cut some vents into it. You'll be fine.
Hello, foreigners. Are you here to explore the jungles? My name is Salida. Pleased to meet you.
And you as well.
So are you here to explore the jungles?
Yes. Like many adventurers before us, I would guess.
There has been few. There has been few that have not returned either. There has been few that went unprepared. And you look like those kind of adventurers that are unprepared. I see you are wearing many metals that will bring you down in the jungle. You don't plan to go like that, do you?
Do you have some better idea of what we could wear?
I have many ideas. I have led many expeditions through the wilds of Jolt. Of course, my cost is also cheap. That is why if you are looking for a guide, I would suggest you pick me, Salida.
Sorry, real quick. We found like an advertisement.
Yeah.
In the last dungeon. Where is that on the?
It's in the chapter 1 folder in the player's handouts. You found this one.
Yes. Well, you've led many expeditions. I've heard a lot about River and Flask.
Yeah.
Mist and Flask, yeah.
Those flunkies, no. They are not good. You don't want to use them. They are expensive. They are treacherous they break laws.
I see.
I am-
And you're better?
I am one who follows the laws. Those that go against the merchant princes, they will bring great trouble among themselves. There have been other guides that have led expeditions into the jungle that have never returned. Let me tell you about the ones you should avoid to give you a reason to pick me. Azaka and Iku, they have led expeditions into the jungle that have never returned. Faral and Gondolo, they are charlatans. Plain and simple. Old Hugh suffers from mad monkey fever, I'm sure of it. Musha Rip, he is an albino dwarf. You should not trust an albino dwarf. And I hear that river mist and flask of wine owe money to a group of mercenaries known as the Zentarum. 5 gold pieces per day is a cheap price to pay for your lives. You should spend your gold wisely and spend it with me. And she gives you a pamphlet.
Well, maybe we'd consider it if you could give us some advice on what to wear here.
Of course. I will. Make sure you are ready to head out into the jungle. You can pay me now, and I shall begin. We can leave as soon as you are ready.
Well, I think that we're going to spend at least a couple days here in the town, in the city, but we'll keep you in mind for sure.
Very well. Listen to my advice. Heed my warnings about the other guides. Where will you be staying? So might I find you?
The Red Bazaar here.
Red Bazaar is vast, expansive. What is the name of your tavern, so I may find you?
We are in the process of figuring that out.
Are you looking for quiet time or busy time?
I'll
Busy
turn and
time.
face the rest of the party. What do you guys think?
We're looking for busy time.
You should stay at the Thundering Lizard then. It is a ways down near the harbor. And she sort of points you, follow the wall down the street. At the very end, you'll see a building. It has a large lizard head above the door frame. That is Thundering Lizard. And she points you to the Thundering Lizards all the way down here.
All right. Well, thank you.
Down near the
We'll
harbor.
keep you in mind when we're ready to set out here.
How many days? You tell me, I will come and find you.
I don't think we have an exact number yet.
We have to meet.
see? Go ahead.
We
go
have
ahead.
to meet up with a friend before we can decide when we're gonna try.
Very well. I will stay at the Thundering Lizard then. So I will be there when you need me. Are you going now there?
Yeah.
Yes, to secure some rooms.
Then let me accompany you, friends.
Can I get a reading on her? Is she? I know she's like putting on like a show to make herself look good, but can I get a genuine reading on her? Is she trustworthy?
Likewise.
Is she gonna lead us down an alley to shiv us?
You can make an insight check. You feel like, I mean, you don't really know her. You don't feel like she's going to just lead you down an alley and shiv you. It's broad daylight here, and the alleyways of Chult are brightly illuminated with this blazing sun. It's, there's something about her, though. You feel like she's like first of all, you're wondering, like, if she's such a good guide, well, why hasn't she been hired? And yeah, she seems to really focus on the other guides and why they're incompetent, it hasn't really given you guys any real compelling reason to hire her. And she, like, also the fact that she's, like, you know, clinging on to you straight away. She's willing to actually stay at the same tavern as you. I feel like she's pushing herself on you guys pretty hard.
I feel like we're going to get roped into something.
Sure.
Lit down the track.
Alright, so anyway, she walks with you guys and you head down the market ward. She tells you a little bit about the Red Bazaar. No one knows how this bazaar got its name. There is one story though. The label is said to come from the large slabs of the dinosaur meat that is sold here. And she points to some gutters that run along the length of the wall and seem to spill out to the nearby harbour. It's red. It's like a red stream. People are skinning animals, gutting them, and slicing up these gigantic slabs of dinosaur meat. It's mostly dinosaurs that are being slaughtered here. And yeah, there are like brown stains all over these gutters. Red Bazaar, you see? If you want to do some shopping here, it is okay, but foreigners like yourselves will be taken advantage on. You should not shop here. Do not shop at the Red Bazaar. If you want to buy equipment, you need to go to the Grand Souk, the colorful blue and red market that you would have seen if you had come from that direction. Alright, you head down, and she seems to take you guys like expressly through the Red Bazaar and straight over to the Thundering Lizard. What's that?
Are there any flies when, or if there might be a fight in the Grand Colosseum to bet on down the track?
Yes, Colosseum. Lots of fights. Betting? Oh no, not allowed. Must speak to merchant prince. Gambling can be illegal. Here we are at the Thundering Lizard.
Is the local language Chultan?
Yes,
Is there a...
Chultan. She speaks a little bit of Chultan.
Does anybody speak that? Turig?
No, Turig doesn't speak Chultan. Turig speaks Broken Common and Fluent Goblin.
Great.
Don't worry, little Patiri. You'll be safe here. Alright, you guys head into this Thundering Lizard Tavern. And it's pretty bare. There's not a whole lot of decorations. You just see a wooden building. It's very breezy. There are a number of open windows where a warm breeze washes through. The floor's also made of these creaking wooden boards. There are some simple round wooden tables with 4 wooden chairs surrounding each one. And it's so hot here. You guys are absolutely sweating. And you see a variety of different patrons all sitting around. Each one has a glass of Tej, an amber colored liquid that you guys have seen before. It's a popular drink here in Port Nyanzaru. The barkeep is a Chultan man, and you see a few different patrons here. And first of all, as you guys enter, I need everybody to make a history check. Did you roll enough history checks there? Tell him.
What the hell? I thought I rolled only one.
You rolled like 8 history checks. Alright.
I guess. Okay. Let me
Alright.
try that again.
So as you guys enter the Thundering Listen, Turig, you recognize this man. You'd actually seen a poster before you left Port Nyanzaru the first time, like several months ago. His name is Volo Thamp Gadam. He's supposed to be some famous author that's touring Port Nyanzaru. There was a lot of advertisement that he was coming to the city, some famous author or something. So you recognize him from the poster. It's just a plumpish man wearing a floppy hat. And he's sitting down right here.
I pat over to my new tribe. I say, it's man on poster. It's man on poster. I point to Volo.
Poster man?
A wanted poster, maybe?
Ooh, a bounty. We could earn money quick. Let's go talk to him.
No, not bounty. Me no think bounty. Maybe bounty.
As you enter, you notice Salida eye this white-skinned dwarf, albino dwarf. You can hear her like visibly hissing at the side of him. Alright, this man, he sort of perks up a little bit when you mention him and point to him. Oh! Hello there! Hello there, adventurers! Ah! You've come to see me, haven't you?
You is the poster man.
Ah, yes! I am the poster man. Of course, you know my name, right?
No, unfortunately, I do not.
Poster man.
I suppose some people must come from distant lands, such as the Dale lands or Coromir, or somewhere far away where I haven't visited in the last 100 years. So I can excuse you for not knowing my name, but just for you, and I'm sure not anyone else in this entire tavern, I will introduce myself. I'm very famous, you know. My name is Volothamp Gadam, esteemed author, world traveler, legendary. I'm sure you all have heard of me. I'm sure you've even heard of me as well there, woman. Although it slips your mind at this present time. You've come here to have your books signed, haven't you?
So when he says his name, do I know him then, or do I need to make another history check?
What did you get on your history? No, you don't know who the hell this guy is. Orion, even with your 12, you don't know who this is. The only reason why anyone knows who this is because Turig saw his face on posters planted all over the city streets a while ago.
Sorry, sir. I don't believe I know that name. You say you published a book?
Oh, yes. Volo's Guide to Monsters. That's why all the people have flocked to Port Nyanzaru of late to get a copy of my book.
I see.
It's a collection of monster drawings.
Ah, I, Volothamp Gadam, have traveled the world. I have delved into the deepest of dungeons. I have traversed the wildest of escapes. I have suffered desolate tundras. I have swum through quicksand. I have leapt from vine to vine. I have traversed any sort of landscape you can imagine so I can get close to these creatures and detail them. And he shows you this book, Volo's Guide to Monsters. And it seems to be a bestiary. Drawings and information about a variety of different monsters, exotic monsters.
Do you have one for sale?
Of course I do, of course. That's why I'm here. You have seen all of the adventurers that have flocked to the city, have you not?
We arrived a solid hour ago. So not so much.
But in that solid hour that you've been here, you've seen all of the adventurers, right? That's why you're here, right? You've come here for my book signing.
Yes.
Unfortunately, no. We came for other things. But
Turik,
finding you is a pleasant, I guess, surprise.
Oh! Well, yes, I'm here to promote my latest book, and, well, I've already met with merchant princes and sold copies to them. They couldn't wait to get their hands on them. And there was a big lineup of people just earlier this day, but they've all bought their copies, and that's why there's no one lining up now. So you're lucky you came when you did, because I'm selling my limited hardcover edition for 50 gold pieces.
I'll be interested in buying that, actually. I pull out the 5 platinum.
Well, I can assure you, it's going to triple in price once I sign it. And he signs it. And he gives you a copy of Volo's Guide to Monsters. So, this book, it actually, it's so meta. It actually has every creature detailed within it that the Volo's Guide, the actual Volo's Guide to Monsters does. There, I've got a handout for you there. And you can recall lore about any particular monster described in the book. Like, you don't get, obviously, in-game statistics or any stat blocks, but it's lore. You get any lore that you want from creatures at any time. So
guys, fall back. The book says they have a +9 to attack.
if you come across a particular creature and you're in a position to pull out the book, or later after fighting it, or if you know you're going to come up against something, you can refer to that book and see if you have any lore about it, and if you do, I'll detail that lore to you.
Volo, may I ask you if you've seen some of the things that we've seen? Perhaps you might know lore about them.
Oh, there's not much I haven't seen, my dear. I'll tell you what, because you've purchased one of my copies, I'll even give you a short mentoring now. What do you need to know, my dear?
Okay, so first I'm going to describe the baby thing that we saw. That it had an umbilical cord and it looked like a disfigured baby.
Oh! One of those! Ah, yes. They're the offspring of what happens if a dwarf and an elf procreate. They're quite harmless. The scream, the debilitating scream that you heard, it was all in your mind. And I wouldn't worry about it. They're just horrible, deformed things. What else do you want to know?
Well, it seemed important because, and then I explained, I don't know it's a lich, but I'll describe what it looked like.
Oh, that's just a skeleton wearing a mage robe. I wouldn't worry about that. There's no way that you encountered a lich and survived, so it's definitely not a lich. Sometimes skeletons, when they are brought back to life, you see, they are animated, they long for what they once were when they walked among the living. So, perhaps the skeleton man that you saw, he was either an elf or a dwarf, and he longed to have a child that he never once bore towards life. So he wanted this little fetus thing to cradle it. That's we cannot hope to understand the undead, what they think. I wouldn't worry about it, my dear. Nothing to be alarmed with.
I wholeheartedly believe everything that he's saying.
Pretty much, because we have no reason to doubt him.
Seems to be quite an expert on creatures and whatnot.
I've come back with a pitcher of Tej and 6 glasses. I poured out for everyone, including Volo.
You go over to the barkeep and get some Tej. It's this amber-colored liquid, and here's what it looks like. It comes in a beaker like this. So a mug costs 4 copper pieces each. 24 copper for 6 people.
Okay.
So, Volo, what are in these jungles pretty much near the city? Anything specific that you can tell us about that might be a threat?
Oh! Dinosaurs! Mosquitoes! There is lizards and snakes and spiders. Yes, all sorts of things that can kill you. I personally haven't completely explored the jungles of Chult. That's something I'm going to do soon. You won't find a terrible amount of information in that book, but my new one that should be coming next summer, Volo's Guide to the Denizens of the Jungles of Chult, will be right up your alley. Come back then in next year.
Of course. So I think if you've gone in the jungle before, you've been with a guide. Which guide do you trust in the city?
Oh, I haven't been to the jungles of Chult, but I can assure you, I spent an entire season in the vast exotic jungles of Mazdaca across the Sea of Swords, and I used only the best guides there. Suddenly, there's a group of rowdy adventurers sitting over to the table next to you, and you see there's a gruff, bearded dwarf wearing some leather armor. He holds up a vial of Tej, and he calls out, "Company of the Yellow Banner!" And the other adventurers, they cheer, "Yeah!" You notice a variety of different adventurers here. They're all male, though. And there seems to be a dwarf, a gold dragonborn, an elf, and 2 male humans, and another dwarf. And each one are all kitted up like they're ready to go out to the jungle. They're all wearing some light armor. They have a variety of backpacks on their backs with all sorts of apparatus and other supplies. There is a wizard, a cleric, a ranger, paladin, a variety of different classes, and each one has a yellow flag strung over their shoulder. They're wearing it over their right shoulder. They call themselves the Company of the Yellow Banner. Sindra had mentioned these adventurers to you. quite obvious that this is them, with the yellow banner and the yelling out of yellow banner and whatnot. And they're very, very loud and rowdy. And that same dwarf that calls out sort of notices you all, and he yells out very loudly and obnoxiously, but not directly towards you. Ha! We're gonna be the ones that stop the death curse! All other adventurers should just stop now! Just a bunch of piss! That's all they'll find in their pants if they head out into the jungle!
What'd you say?
He looks like directly at you now, Orion. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't referring to you. I was generalizing that any adventurers that head out into the jungle may as well give up now. The company of the Yellow Banner is heading out tomorrow morning at first light. Isn't that right, Lord Brixton? Aye. And you see the man who looks like the leader, he just wears a chain shirt. And it looks a little bit heavy for going out to the jungle, but you notice it sort of gleams and moves perfectly with the different reflexes of his body. Seems to be made of some sort of special metal. And,
So you've been in the jungles before.
Lord Brixton stands up and he downs his vial of Tej. Calmly puts it down on the table. I've not been to the jungles of Chult, no. But we're the best bet of stopping this death curse. Allow us to introduce ourselves. It looks like we will have some friendly competition in the jungles. Don't listen to Biff here. We welcome any competition. My name is Lord Brixton, Knight of Coromir. And I am Devlin Bashir, wizard from Little Calimport, Baldur's Gate. Bravus Boulderborn, Cleric of Moradin, Wolfslayer. Seth. Seward. Ranger.
What a head. What a head that man has. It's like a Diglett had some trouble.
It looks like he's in like power armor from Fallout 4.
He's wearing full plate.
Is he a thumb? Is that a thumb? Did somebody just draw in their thumb, give it a face?
This is great.
And I'm Biff! The other dwarf calls out. So, you're looking to head to the jungles too then, are you?
Damn right.
Well, I hope you can catch up to us. You don't quite look ready to head out. New in town, are you?
Your heavy armor looks like you're equally as ready. Yeah, we're new in town.
We are trying to acclimate ourselves. We wear this armor as a test on our own fortitude and endurance.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I say quietly under my breath.
A weighted training gear.
When is you leaving for jungle?
We are leaving tomorrow morning. We've already been training to head out on an expedition for an entire 10-day. We were planning to map Chult, and learning about this death curse has allowed us to now challenge ourselves. We have an even greater reason to head out into the jungles. We will be the first one to find this soulmonger. We will be the first one to put an end to it. And when we return, we'll be heroes. And you'll be kissing our feet, thanking us for saving your lives.
Which one of them said this?
Lord Brixton.
Well, either way, it is a good cause that you go out, and I do wish you luck. Hopefully, you are able to defeat the curse, or one of us is able to defeat it.
One of us.
Well,
Turg leaps into them and says, "You is gonna need more than 10 days."
ha 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 ha. Little strange goblin, what would you know? You can't even speak properly.
Me is Batiri, me is from jungle.
You is from jungle. Well, why don't you go back to the jungle? Go and leave all of the important work up to the civilized folk. Go and shrink some heads or something.
Maybe me shrink your head.
Ha 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 ha. As much as I'd love to entertain you, we need to retire now. We're going to have a good night's sleep, so we are better prepared for the morrow. Come, company of the Yellow Banner! And then they start singing a song as they down their vials of Tej, and all 6 of them head out of the tavern.
So mean. Me is trying to help, and they be mean to Turek.
It's okay, Turek. Don't listen to them.
They are fools. They do not even have a guide. But perhaps I can change that. Wait! Salida runs after them. Hey!
Yeah, it gets her off our back at least.
Yeah.
I'll be back in case this falls through, she yells out to you guys as she runs out of the thundering lizard.
Me no think me like Celita.
I think me and her had different ideas on a busy tavern.
Sure.
So, Volo, well, since you've been in the city before, this is our first time. Anything that you recommend us seeing?
Oh, well, do enjoy watching people get ripped to shred by velociraptors.
It would be a first for me, really.
Well, you could always go down to Executioner's Run. I've heard it's quite nice at this time of year. Of course, I've seen everything that Port Nyanzaru has to offer already, so that's why I just, whew. He takes off his floppy hat and he starts fanning himself with it. That's why I just, like to stay near the harbor. Just, a man of my esteem. It's hard to entertain, you know. Oh, it is hot in here. If you excuse me, I need to cool off. I might just go and splash my face a little bit.
Of course.
You
Start heading over to the bar.
Alright, you hear a bit of a cough. And the albino dwarf, who's just been keeping to himself, he coughs as if he's trying to get your attention.
I'll go over. Hello, sir. Dwarf.
Greetings. You are going to the jungle?
After we speak to an associate, we will most likely be traveling into the jungle.
Do not be like those other adventurers. Do not go without a guide. And do not trust the snake lady either. People, they will head to the jungle with you to take your money and a slice of the fame. Some are inexperienced. Some will lead you to your death. That is why you should pick me as your guide instead. My name is Musha Rip. The jungle is my home. I know it well. I can guide you anywhere in Chult for 5 gold pieces per day. You are seeking adventure? Yes. Of course, you will travel to the jungles of Chult to stop the death curse like every adventurer. But sometimes it's not about the end goal, it's about the journey along the way. Yeah? You have wanderlust?
Yes. Well, what can Salida has told us what she can offer. What is it that you offer or bring to the table?
I am not going to crush your mind with selling myself as an expert guide. All I know that the jungle is my home. I am native to Chult. I am from deep in the jungle. I am not traveling to the jungle to guide a bunch of adventurers to stop this Solmonga. I am traveling to reclaim Harakma, my ancestral forge. It has been taken over. There was a volcanic eruption from the peak of flame. It forces us to abandon many years ago. Fire newts. They have since taken over. I must kill them. I must destroy them. I must reclaim my ancestral home. At the very least, I must sneak in and recover a relic known as Moradin's Gauntlet. The fire newts, they have it. They cannot keep it. I'm not sure if you care about dwarves. Although I look different, my skin is bleached, as is my hair. I am a dwarf at heart, and if you love dwarvenkind, then hear my plea, and join me in returning Harakma to its rightful owners. I will even waive my fee if you promise to assist me. Here, take my pamphlet.
Can I insight check him to see how trustworthy he is?
Sure. Alright, so immediately, just the fact that he's a dwarf, it would probably incline you to already trust him, because dwarves, they're like 99.9% of dwarves are lawful good. They're always, it's just like in their very nature. Although this guy, he looks like not your regular dwarf. I mean, of course, you have Durgar, who are just inherently evil as well. Yeah, you trust him. He's straightforward with you as well. He doesn't try to tell you that, he's going to take you into the jungle and then just beeline it for this Harakmi. He seems very forthright with you. And you can tell that he doesn't really care too much about actually, getting you guys to this soulmonger, stopping the death curse. He just wants to reclaim his ancestral home deep in the jungle.
So I will reply back to him in Dwarvish. I was taught that dwarves were very trustworthy, and I do believe you. I would be glad to have you as a guide.
Excellent. I can do many things. I can make armor from dinosaur hide. I can shape weapons from their bones. I can craft flint. I can gather wood. I can craft jewelry even if we have time.
Let me just. To me, you will be my guide at least. But let me confer with my friends if they trust my judgment in you.
I pull
the
out.
others.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I call the others over so that way they can come.
Okay. I pull out one of my trinkets that I've created, and I offer it up towards him. and ask to see some of his jewelry that he's made.
All right, he takes it and he holds it in his hand and he gives you a graceful nod. Ah, little Batiri, you are traveling with the mainlanders?
Yes. This is Turik's new tribe.
Oh, I would be very pleased to travel with Batiri. I feel like you are my countryman. Thank you for your trinket. I shall give you one back. Do you have hair?
I reach into my armpit and like pluck some hair off of it.
This is good. Please leave the hair on your body. And he takes these little stone beads and he threads it through your armpit hair. Very intricately. Even with his stubby fingers, he's able to tie a little knot in your hair and thread your armpit hair with the stone bead. There you are. Now you are albino dwarf.
And you is Batiri.
Ha ha ha. I have always wanted to be Batiri. Well, more dwarf than Batiri, but now I am.
Well, all this is happening. I took off my armor because it's fucking hot.
Okay, yeah, you start like taking off your gauntlets, you take off your breastplate, you take off your greaves, and even then it does very little. You're actually quite close to the harbor, so there's a gentle sea breeze washing through all of the windows. Like, there's no glass pane in the windows, it's all completely open, and it's just, even then it's just so hot. You just feel like you just want to take a dip or something.
It just sounds like you're describing Australia at the moment.
So Musha Rip then, he just takes his tej and takes another sip of it. Are you staying here in the Thundering Lizard?
We were told that this was a decent place to stay. What do you say?
It can get very busy here. If you like busy, then this is good.
Do you know any way to take my mind off the heat? Because it's a little bit too hot.
Heat? What heat? If you are feeling uncomfortable now, then you will feel quite uncomfortable when we go into the jungle together, friend. Don't worry, give it a few days and you will adjust to this new temperature that you feel. Me, Musha Rip, I am used to working near forge. Heat I do not feel. That is another reason why I should be a good guide for you.
Yes, Miss Reed has generously offered to be a guide to us, and would even waive his fee if we were able to assist him with trying to find and take back his fort.
And how, speaking cynically, can we afford to add something like that onto our caseload? How difficult would it be to take back this forge?
It is something we can possibly do afterwards, but for now we would do our current mission.
I'm pretty sure whatever we need to do for the forge is probably easier than killing a lich. Just saying.
Killing a lich? What do you speak of?
Nah, don't worry about it. It's not important.
Well, I mean, it looks like a lich. It's just a skeleton with mage armor on.
Yes, this is what Bolo tells us, that we came across a skeleton that had an attachment for a baby, a half no, a half elf, half dwarf baby.
Oh, that man? He speaks as if his ass is on his face.
Turek bursts out laughing.
He talks a lot. I can tell that he lacks experience. Do not listen to that man. Listen to me. I will take you into the jungle, and we will travel to Harakma, and we will reclaim my ancestral homeland, my ancestral forge. If you're staying in the Thundering Lizard, so am I. I am in the dormitory up the road. I will be in this tavern every day, from noon until sundown, and I will wait for you. Please come and find me when you have made the necessary preparations. I will guide you to what you need. I will take you up to the Red Bazaar, and we will buy all the equipment needed for your journey.
Are you all okay with him as a guide?
Well, he did say
Well,
that
better
he
than that.
was. He said he was.
Well,
He'd be willing to waive the fee, so we can probably talk to the other guides if possible. Maybe get more than one.
Well, more than one's probably problematic, but just the idea of having a trustworthy guide and something that wouldn't double cross us like that snake lady.
Well, we'd have
Yeah.
more than one, so we'd have differing opinions. We could weigh them against each other.
I am fine with him because he's a native and he seems like he knows the jungle.
Plus side quest.
He seems trustworthy enough.
Right, we should secure our rooms then. I start heading over to the barkeep to see about getting a room.
Welcome, friend. Welcome to the Thundering Lizard. What can I help you with?
Yes, it seems like we will be staying here. Perhaps we would need some rooms, I believe.
Ah, yes. We own many dormitories along the bay. The rooms are 5 silver per night. How many people are staying?
I believe we are 5 right now.
Very well. I have some rooms. It has been very busy lately. Many of your kind have come to Port Nyanzaru. Business has been very well for me. Still, I do not run out of Tej. How many nights would you like to stay for, friend?
And you said it was 5 silver per night?
Yeah.
I want to do... Let's do a week for now.
1 week. Very well. Is that a week as in a 10-day? Or 7 days? Or 5 days? What sort of week?
Pretty much a 10-day.
10-day. Okay, that's 25 gold. 25 gold pieces. And are you paying for that, Petra?
Well, I can only pay really for mine. So it would be technically for only myself, 5
gold.
5 gold.
Yeah.
Because I don't have enough for everybody. I just have 14 gold and 32 silver and 2 copper.
We don't have to stay that long, do we?
I'm not sure how long we're going to be staying, so that's
We
why
can
I
always buy
say
more later. Just buy a couple of days now, and then if we want to stay longer, we can pay again. Don't throw your money away.
then 3 days each for each.
Very well. That will be 1 gold piece and 5 silver each. So everyone cross off 1 gold and 5 silver. As you're up at the bar there, a woman walks into the tavern. She looks like an elf, half elf, perhaps. She's dressed in some robes, some light robes. She looks like a wizard type. And she has these rust-colored scales all over her face. She has a bit of a charismatic presence about her. You're almost drawn to look at her as she enters. She has a tiny little red dragon perched on her shoulder. She has ash-colored hair. She's about 5 foot tall. And she looks around the tavern as she enters. Is anyone heading into the jungles? I'm looking for adventurers. She calls out.
Hey, that's us.
Hello. May we sit?
Oh.
May we drink?
Please. I gesture to a chair.
Thank you. And she has a big smile on her face. But when she sits down, you notice that her look turns to one of worry. And she seems to be concerned about something. Thank you. You are heading to the jungle soon?
Yeah. We're in town for a day or two here, but why? What seems to be the matter?
My father headed into the jungle a couple of days ago. A short expedition it was meant to be, but he hasn't returned. Apparently, he teamed up with some reptilian man. And I'm worried about him. I want to head into the jungle, but I've heard it's dangerous. I'm looking for an adventuring party that is headed out, so I might join them. My name is Sandala.
Do you have experience in the jungle, in fighting in general?
I don't have experience in the jungle, no. But I have an innate ability of magic and affinity. And she purposely shows off these draconic scales that riddle her face and neck. I've always been attuned to the arcane weave. Ever since I was a child. It is an innate power that I have that is brewed within me. I have the blood of dragons flowing through my veins. So, can you help me find my father?
Excuse me.
Bless
Well,
you.
we
Well-
can take you. We can take you with us after what? After we adjust to this climate.
You will
What
take
do you
me
mean?
with you? Really? Just like that?
Do you know the last place your father was meant to be? The direction he was going, perhaps?
I'm not sure. My father, he is a hero. He is probably going to try and stop the death curse. But first, he was going to help some members of the Order of the Gauntlet at Camp Vengeance. A few days' journey there and back up the river. He was supposed to be back. He hasn't returned.
I'll kind of yell over my shoulder. Hey, Musha Rip, is the Order of the Gauntlet hideout on the way?
Ah!
Order of the
Armored
Gauntlet.
folk.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have heard that some armored folk have headed into the jungle to make a station, but I am not sure of that station. No.
Well, let's try to find it.
This is new to me. Many years since I have been in the jungle. Only things I have heard.
Perhaps you've heard of my father. Check?
Sure.
I mean, on the woman to see if she's trying to also lead us into a trap or something.
Yeah, go for it. Make an insight check. She seems to be really concerned and distraught. Like, she desperately wants to go into the jungle. From what you can tell. Even if it's going to be a risk to her life. Seems to really care for her father.
I figure that.
Yeah,
at the very least, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all down for taking a side trip to look for her father.
We could get some tips too if we follow in her father's footsteps.
Have you heard of my father? I'm sure he can take care of himself, but I worry. I'm not sure about this lizard man. His name is Artist Simba. Have you heard of him?
Simba?
And yeah, you guys can make history checks.
I know his father, Mufasa.
Alright, Petra and Talum, you've both heard of this man, and you two, Orion, maybe you've heard a brief tale about him. He's actually a member of a powerful adventuring party known as Force Grey that have helped out Waterdeep time and time again. He's an incredibly powerful adventurer and a hero, and he's got some history with Cholt from what you guys can remember. Like he had a wife who lives in Cholt, in Port Nyanzaru or something. Something like that. But yeah, this is a famous adventurer, Artist Simba.
If you don't mind my asking, where's your mother?
My mother... she has passed.
I see.
I don't know who this reptilian man is. I am worried that he is going to deceive my father or betray him. He's not one to trust others. I have asked about this reptilian man. I have heard he does not talk and he smells funny, and they were both seen headed into the jungle together a few days ago. So I can join you then.
I asked Ribs if he's heard of such a guy.
Not sure. Don't spend too much time talking. Spend lots of time thinking about how to get Harakma back. Don't know. My people, they are away from your people. If you understand what I say. Yes?
Yes.
Alright, so Sandala joins you guys, and you get this quest to find Artist Simba with her. Great. I shall accompany you then. I have some other preparations to make. Oh, by the way, this is Summerwise. And the little pseudo dragon pokes its head out from around her ash hair and waves at you guys. Doesn't speak.
I wave back at the dragon.
So you're staying here then? How long till you head out, may I ask?
We have some. Yes, we have some business to take care of first. We have to go see an ally.
Very well. I have some preparations as well to do. I will come back and meet you here tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. That sounds like a plan.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Thank you. This means a lot to me. My father is all I have. And she runs off.
So let's. I say we purchase some clothes from here so we don't look so much like outside.
I agree. Musha Rip, would you mind leading us to get adjusted in the marketplace?
Are you paying me now then? To guide you? 5 gold pieces per day. I'll waive it all. If you are going to travel with me to Harakma. Your words do not mean much to me. When your feet step into the jungle, then I will be sure. Many of your kind, new adventurers has come to Port Nyanzaru. Many have head to the jungle, and there are many guides. When we are certain, we will be ready.
I'm sure we can find our way to the market. We don't need to trouble him today. He can get his bearings and prepare himself.
I am ready to go at a moment's notice. But you are not. Alright, you guys leaving the tavern now?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, whoops, wrong map. You don't have this map yet. But you'll have that map soon. Okay, you head back out into the bustling streets of Port Nyanzaru. And you just see people washing clothes out on their streets, people sitting on balconies chatting, kids running around, and people going about their business, trading, bartering, and the city is alive in the market ward.
Are we still on the hexagon map? Because that's what I see.
It shouldn't be. I don't know why.
I'm just refreshing mine.
Probably fix it. Let me just change it. I don't know what happened there. It shouldn't be on that map though. Let me just change it back over to the landing page and then back over.
There we go.
Okay.
There it is.
So we were told that the Grand Sulk would probably be the best place for us to purchase things, since we look like outsiders.
And
So
tell him over there some armor that actually works here. Armor.
yeah, he might need to downgrade his armor that he has on.
I mean, only weaklings need armor, but whatever. Who am I to say?
As far as traveling into the jungle, you guys aren't entirely sure what you need. You'll need to employ a guide, most likely, to get all that information.
Yep, but we need to talk to Sindra to see exactly when we're supposed to leave and stuff before that. I just want to buy clothes so we're not standing out like sore thumbs.
Well, let's talk to Sindra then first. Let's talk to Sindra first to get an exact timeline.
So
say that we have a guide lined up, and then get the stuff that we need with the guide.
Okay.
Yeah, when you look around the people of Cholt have a very distinct look, and you can't imagine that you guys will be able to really blend in because Choltons are Choltons, and changing your clothes is not. It's gonna let you like sort of fit in with the culture. But here's what Choltons. This is how they dress. This is what they look like.
Yeah, I'm sure they're very darker skinned than us.
Yeah, there's no way you guys will pass as Choltons, but you can definitely, there's also other nationalities and races that live in Port Nyanzaru as well, like permanently. But the majority of folk here are Choltons.
I was gonna ask, are Choltons mainly human?
Yes, they're all human. They're only human.
Oh, so you can't be like a dwarf and Cholton.
Oh, a Cholton is anyone from Cholt really, but the native people of Cholt are humans. But no, yeah,
Gotcha.
like Musha Rip, he's a Cholton albino dwarf.
Gotcha. So it's a race and a nationality.
And they have their own language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so from what you can tell, a lot of adventurers have flocked to Port Nyanzaru recently for this race to stop the death curse.
Right. So off to Sindra we go.
Alright, so you're heading over to Wakungasville. As you're heading over there, this woman comes up to you guys, just near the Grand Sook, and she's going up to people, and she's like being she's going up to obviously non-Choltons, adventurers and whatnot, and she's being pushed away and whatnot, and then she comes over to you guys. Please, can someone help me? Can someone help me?
What seems to be the trouble?
My husband. My husband. He is about to be put to death in the executioner's run for something he did not do. I need help. I need someone to help him.
What is he accused of?
Stealing. They are saying he is stealing. But my husband, he is a victim of mistaken identity. He was sentenced with no proper hearing and no proper trial.
What do you expect strangers to do for you?
Maybe you can speak to the authorities. They do not listen to us. But maybe outsiders they will listen to. Maybe another perspective. Oh, you are adventurers, yes? You are strong. Please. Maybe you can stand in for him. You will stand a chance. He will not. He will be ripped into shreds.
Is he gonna fight something?
They are about to throw him into the executioner's run. You must help, please.
What is he fighting?
I'm not sure what they will put him against. There are many creatures.
Lead the way.
Please, yes,
Oh.
yes.
Let's at least take a look.
Yeah, according to Volo, it sounded like pterodactyls. Was it pterodactyls?
He said Velociraptors. But
Oh,
Turing
okay.
is already starting to walk off towards the executioner's run.
Alright, she runs, and you push through this bustling marketplace where there's so many people trading and bartering and yelling and all these exotic smells and spices. And as you're running by, you head into Old City. Now this place is kind of dilapidated. There are a heap of crumbling stone buildings that haven't been very well maintained, but this section of the city, it has its own certain charm. The entire ward looks crumbling. There are these massive, like impressive ancient-looking vine-covered ziggurats that tower above the entire ward, and they're quite impressive, and it must be like 1,000 years old or something. Just these gigantic pyramidal structures, and you just feel like so much ancient history in this section of the city, although you don't stop to really admire it. Even as you're rushing to Executioner's Run, there is a couple of street beggars shaking some cups at you guys. Coin! 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 And the upper levels look a lot cleaner. It's like multi-levels. There are stone bridges that span these upper levels, and all of the tenements are made of bamboo, and they're jammed onto terraces that sort of hang off of these ziggurats. And then you head through the road through the old city. You're actually on the outer wall of the city now, and you just look out to see an expansive jungle miles away, like down at the end of this road. And you come to this rectangular stone-lined pit. I'm going to move you guys over there onto a map. Alright, you guys rush forward to this executioner's pit. And you see, gigantic pit. Just in the middle of the street here. And there are these staunch looking gladiators. They look like gladiators, but they seem to be guards. They're completely ripped, muscular, steel helms over their faces, wicked looking shields, and they tote spears. And they sort of stand there like stalwart warriors. You can see a heap of bamboo structures, awnings, and just some people trying to sell some trinkets and whatnot on the outskirts of this Executioner's Run. There are some people standing and watching. It almost seems to be a bit of a tourist attraction. And down the other side of this massive pit, you see some cages. And there are some big cats, a large dinosaur, and some smaller dinosaurs in these cages. Other hungry beasts. And as you rush up, Belim runs to this man as he's being held by one of these gladiators, and she grabs his arm. Draza! Draza! No! And seems to be her husband, Draza. As you arrive, the gladiators actually grabs him and pushes him away from his wife. And Draza just looks desperate. He's like unarmed. He just wears some light clothes. And he calls out to his wife. And the gladiator pushes him forward and pushes him onto this wooden platform, which is roped up to these gates that sort of surround the exterior of the run. And looks like it's about to be lowered down.
I jump onto the same platform.
Alright, you jump onto the platform, and when you do, this one of these massive guards moves over, and he just tries to grab you, Orion. Make an athletics or an acrobatics check. He just runs over and tries to put his hands on you.
Shit.
Alright, he just grabs onto you firmly. He's so strong. And he just like grapples you and just rips you straight off the platform. And he's like yells at you in Cholton.
So I will ask this guard that's next to me. So what's the meaning of this? What's going on here?
The guard, he kind of ignores you at first. And Belim actually translates. They do not speak your common tongue. Please! These people, they want to know why my husband is being put down there. They say he was stealing.
And what proof do you have that he was stealing?
She translates. They say he was caught red-handed. A man who looks just like him 2 days ago was stealing from the merchant's harbor. But no, my husband, he's been helping down at Mala's throat. The Temple of Sadras.
Get off me, man. Hey,
So
get off me.
He lets go.
So you're saying you're going to condemn this man because he looks like somebody else? You did not find any of the items on him, though. Or did you?
The gladiator, like Bellum, translates some more and says, he actually speaks a little bit of common now. Huh? You care? This man? Then you go instead of him.
Sure.
I believe my friend over there was planning to, but your man grabbed.
Give all your
Ego.
weapon and armor and step onto platform then. One person.
Ego and Migo.
One person.
Higo amigo.
You go then.
No, Turek, I got this.
Bellum sort of says, we can help. You can help from the sidelines. Alright, if you try to jump on Turek, make an athletics or an acrobatics check. When you step onto the platform. Fine. You go. And then the gladiator kicks you off the platform into the pit, Turek. And you fall 15 feet. He just push kicks you. And you land on the ground prone, and you take 3 bludgeoning damage. And then Draza quickly runs to Belim, and then the other gladiator moves in and cranks this lever down. And the bridge lowers you down, Orion.
You okay, Turek?
Turek is fine.
You ready?
Alright,
He's ready.
as you head down to this pit, you just see a 40-foot wide pit. And it seems to be about a couple of 100 feet long. The floor is made of stone and it's covered in blood. There is blood stains, bloody footprints, and a trail of gore throughout this entire thing. And up the other end, there's a couple of gladiators getting some creatures out of a cage. And they deposit down these 4 tiny little dinosaurs. They look quite small. They're about the size of a chicken. But they move so quick. They just start running down towards you guys. They start cruising down the other side of this executioner's run. And some of the town folk that are nearby, they gather, and yeah, you get a little bit of an audience. Even it looks like some merchants and whatnot. They gather around Executioner's Run, and Belim and her husband rush by your allies here. So, Orion and Turek, what do you guys do?
We don't have our weapons. They took them before we went down. Is that correct?
Yeah, you said take your weapons and armor.
I still have my stuff.
Turek,
So
yeah, you're kicked down, so you have yours, but he would take your weapon. He would just take your weapon, Orion.
Okay.
Can I throw my weapons down?
You can do whatever you want.
So Bellum, you said we can assist in this. What is fair?
I don't know if you have some magics or something. Whatever you do, do not let the guards see. They will not like this.
Oh. Okay. Well then, since I'm lawful good, I'm probably not gonna try to interact with this. Although I can do want to bless them.
Alright. So, first of all, now you guys run to the sidelines. Let me just fix up this map a little bit. There we go. You didn't have that white stuff there. Alright, first of all, Turek and Orion, what do you guys do? These 4 velociraptors are sprinting towards you guys very quickly.
I start running towards them.
I follow him. Let out a big yell and run at them.
Okay. They start to spread out a little bit, and they're just like hopping along the ground. Alright, as that's happening, what's everyone doing over here? So, tell them you want to bless them.
That would require me a sleight of hand check, right?
Yeah, because you're a reasonable distance away, you'll be able to cast a spell without them detecting it, but you would need to do a sleight of hand check.
Well, I mean, yeah, I need to help out my buddies, so.
Alright, you cast Bless, and the guards don't seem to notice that. So as Turek and Orion are running down this pit, tell them you run up beside them and cast Bless. Do you want me to do you need me to cast that for you? Are you still on your phone?
Yeah, that's why I rolled 8 history checks before.
Thought so. Okay, let me do that for you. Alright, bless goes on, and do you want to just bless someone else, like, because you can?
I mean, sure. Let's bless our caster right next to me.
Okay. Alright, Kalendor and Petra, what do you guys doing? Belim and Draza are also running beside you guys, like, watching, trying to hope that everyone survives.
Can I... Because they took his weapon, can I try to slip my dagger down here so Orion can have something to stab with?
Yeah, you can make a sleight of hand check as well. Try and slip a dagger down there. It's a 15-foot drop, so you'd probably just slide it across the ground and then it will fall down.
I did hand him my club.
Oh, he has a club?
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, so then instead I will... I guess I will try to see if I can slide of hand check an Eldritch Blast to one of the Velociraptors.
That's gonna be pretty obvious.
Well, I'm not sure how obvious it would be. How can
a big
can
beam
it
of
be
energy
seen?
crackling from your hand would be inexplicably obvious.
You just do it when everybody conveniently blinks
Okay, so
at the same time.
is that what would a light crossbow look a lot less obvious?
Yeah, you could probably get a crossbow bolt off. Alright, I'm gonna roll initiative. These little velociraptors clash with your party members. This one just runs very, very quickly, and then it jumps through the air. It leaps through the air at Orion, and It's actually claws first. It misses, it bounces on the ground, and then it tries to take a bite out of your leg. And it bites you for 3 piercing damage. This one runs forward, and it runs around here, and it jumps on you, Orion. And it has pack tactics, so it attacks with advantage. Another one climbs on you and tries to bite you. Misses with the bite, and then it tries to drag its claws across you. And whoosh, it rips a claw across your neck and down your chest for 7 slashing damage. Torek.
Turek is going to cast Animal Friendship on one of the ones that haven't acted.
Which one?
We'll say the one on the left.
Okay.
I am lagging. Oh,
Yeah,
there it
me too.
is.
Okay. Alright, it makes a wisdom saving throw, this Velociraptor down here. And it doesn't seem to have any effect on the Velociraptor.
I'm going to transform into a Dionysus. Use my bonus action to transform into Dionysus.
Okay. You turn into a dinosaur yourself, and some of the surrounding crowd start to cheer you. They seem quite impressed by that.
And I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move here
Okay.
and screech at him.
You turn into what looks like a much bigger version of the Velociraptor, with some feathers, like little bristly feathers. It's a larger cousin of the Velociraptor. Alright, this Velociraptor, it jumps on Orion. These things are pack creatures. It jumps on him and they just all focus their attacks on him. That misses. It tries to claw him, and that misses as well. You can imagine Draza just getting absolutely ripped into shreds by this point if he was down there. Petra.
Right, so I'm gonna move back to where my group is, so that way I can get at least, maybe since I'm in a group, it'll be harder to see what I'm doing. And gonna try to shoot that one with a light crossbow.
Okay.
16 sleight of hand.
Okay. Crit. Alright, you just use your allies to cover you and some of your robe. You sneak that light crossbow underneath the robe and you sink a bolt down. It hits a Velociraptor in the neck and it causes it to roll along the ground, instantly killed. And some of the crowd continue to cheer, as it looks like maybe Orion just completely devastated that Velociraptor. This Velociraptor, it runs around here and jumps on Orion, claws first. It misses, and then it tries to bite you, and it bites you for 3 piercing damage. Tell him.
Yeah, I don't do anything because I don't feel like it's a good idea to, get caught.
Orion.
Alright, as a bonus action, I'll rage. And I will hit, let's say this one. with my club. Recklessly, because they have advantage on me anyway.
That hits, and you just whack the little velociraptor over the head. It gets knocked to the ground and shakes its head a little bit. It looks quite badly beaten up and kind of jumps back to its feet. Springs back up. Calendar.
5 gold on the green one.
Bellum looks at you. Are you crazy? Your friends are in grave danger. This is not the time to bet.
Oh, they've got it. Look at them. They're not going to lose to this.
Alright, a nearby Cholton guard sort of sneers at you. I'll take that bet. I'll bet that one of your friends hits the floor. 5 gold.
I'll take it.
Alright. Shakes hands with you. And you bet 5 gold that one of your friends will hit the floor. Well, you're betting with your friends. Alright, this Velociraptor jumps on Orion and it does its thing. Clawing away. It claws you for 2 slashing damage, and then it tries to bite you. And it misses with the bite. Turig.
The Dionychus bites at the Velociraptor he's next to.
You have a character sheet for the
Oh, I see it. I see that now.
for all of your wild shapes. Just hold Alt and double click on the token and it'll bring it up. I'll take that first attack roll anyway. So, alright, you bite the Velociraptor and you just sort of chomp onto its side. It's quite badly hurt.
I clawed it again.
And that's a hit. Oh, sorry, that's a miss. A 12 is a miss.
And I missed the
That's bless.
You got bless on Turik, so
Okay, what do I gotta roll for bless?
1d4.
yeah, that second attack is gonna hit with the claw,
okay.
even if you roll a 1. All right, that second claw then rips through the Velociraptor and drops it to the ground dead.
And I shifted. I'm run over here.
The little dinosaur continues to jump all over Orion, clawing and biting away. Claw misses, and it bites you for 2 piercing damage. Petra.
With that guard there, I pretty much just put the crossbow away and pretty much just cheer them on.
Alright, the Velociraptor keeps on biting away at Orion. Clawing, slashing, trying to rip chunks out of him. And you're bit for another 2 damage. Talum.
Alright. I'll shift. So here's that temp HP.
Your thing
Not
says
great.
temp AC, by the way. I'm sure
Whoops.
if you realize that.
I'd love a +6 to my AC. That sounds great. And then I'll recklessly attack the injured one again.
I just bash it over the head and knock it straight to the ground. Dead.
Sweet.
Calendar.
They're not doing so bad, are they? What do you say to double or nothing?
Very well, friend. Double or nothing, says your friend. Hits the floor. 10 gold. Turik.
Bite. With bless. And that would hit even if it's a 1.
That would. Alright, you bite onto little Velociraptor. Your teeth sink into it. You're much bigger than it, and you're just like ripping it apart. Screeches. And you claw into it. And you drag your claw down onto it. And the Velociraptor hits the ground. Dead.
And I move my full 20 feet forward. Or 40 feet forward.
Okay.
Who's next?
They, as you say that, they're actually already getting some large panthers.
Shit, I was kidding.
They get 4 of them, and they get ready to unleash them.
Alright, drink a potion if you have it.
Hey, good call.
And before that, we're actually going to take a 10-minute break. I'll tally up the experience after all of these encounters as well. I'll see you guys back soon.
Awesome.
Hey, those panthers multiplied. I saw that.
They've got heaps of animals nearby. They've got warehouses full of them.
I don't want to fight a T-Rex. Pretty sure I saw a T-Rex in a cage.
I don't think that's a T-Rex. I think that's Allosaurus.
Oh, much better. That makes me feel happier.
It's better in the fact that it's not as big as a T-Rex. I think level 6 I can turn into an Allosaurus.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I'll
be right back, guys.
You'll be fine as long as your rage continues.
They did 19 damage to me. Half of that while I was raging in like 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah, Velociraptors. The Velociraptors are terrifying. I will be right back.
As long as you remember that if you go down, I lose 10 gold, you'll be fine. You wouldn't want to lose me 10 gold.
I'm really glad Turg is here. I would already be dead if Turg did not come down with me.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't even be useful in that fight.
Why? You're a good tank.
I just got lucky. I got credited.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I have 13 AC at the moment.
Oh, because you don't have armor.
Yep. So, literally, this fight would be... I would be down on the first turn.
Yeah, I would probably be too. I only have 12 right now.
We're fine. We got this.
Once I hit level 3, well, then I can be a tank again. Because Sanctuary.
Yeah, what are you gonna do for AC, dude?
Well, I mean, Sanctuary. I'm literally just gonna be dodging in Sanctuary.
Yeah, but
Well,
you're just not gonna wear armor, or you're gonna wear light armor? Or what are you gonna do?
Well,
I think-
we have a dwarf who can craft armor out of dinosaur bones, so I hope that works for me.
Or we might run into these yellow flag people, and he can steal that magical armor that looks like it wasn't affecting him.
Oh yeah, that like mithril stuff. We'll get you some heavy mithril armor or something.
Well, as long as it's as long as I won't die in an armor, it's fine.
It's either mithril or he has some magical fan in there, like the the characters around the Disney parks and stuff, that they have
An
a fan
internal
inside.
AC unit.
Yeah.
Imagine getting one of those cursed armors that you can't take off.
The one that would be a real pain would be that heavy one. The one that makes you like 10 times heavier.
Well, the fact that even medium armor is killing me is kind of... Yeah. I didn't even know what exactly am I gonna be doing for armor.
Yeah, and
My
heavy
character-
armor isn't a thing, I guess, in this area. Because I think I read in those pamphlets that he sent that heavy armor is like non-existent.
Yeah,
almost.
heavy armor. Well, heavy armor, yeah, but I didn't expect that medium armor was also a no-go. So I'm gonna be running 13 AC most of the time.
This is okay.
Well, no, you have more than 13 AC because you have a shield now.
That's with the shield.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a plus
I have
one dex or
I-
something?
No, I have 0 dex. Well, I have, fighting style defense, so +1 and shield.
Well,
that's
when
it.
you're wearing armor, right?
Oh, well, okay, I have 12 then.
You have the same as our caster. Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our paladin and sorcerer have the same AC. Oh no.
Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of took a wrong step.
I just think it's funny because your last character had godly AC. What was it at the end? Like 24 or something?
25 default.
Invest in scrolls of mage armor.
25 was default, and I had if I cast Shield of Fate, 27. If I use Defender, 30. I didn't have the fighting style defense, so.
Bear back.
I have no idea how am I gonna be playing this campaign. I think I'm gonna be the first one to die, or I'm just gonna be a support.
Paladins make good support.
Well, I'm gonna be basically another calendar. Just sneak in there and just smite or something with my extra features and then fly away. Because at level 3 I can also fly.
I'm back.
Yo.
So, conservative, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
So you should probably just hang back and let me take the brunt of this next round.
I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna down a healing potion. And I have some temp HP, which should get me up around 20, back up to 20 HP, and I'm raging. So I should be fine.
I think what you should do is just go defensive while Turig goes in and attacks, because he has more attacks and
way more damage. That's true.
Yeah, I have 3 attacks.
Panthers are also pack kind of things.
So I might as well reckless.
Well, like I said, if you go defense, that just cancels it out completely.
That's true. What's my AC right now? It is 19. Yeah, we'll see. We'll read the... If they have pack tactics, then...
Well, figuring if I don't think they're that high challenge rate, and they have maybe a +4, +5 to attack.
Sure.
I think they're a quarter.
That's my instinct. But after reading the Dritz novels, I'm terrified of Panthers.
Gwen is different.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Oh, we're good. This is intense.
All right.
We're just waiting for a displacer beast to pop up.
These panthers can multiply as many times as they want. All right. So yeah, you can tell that they've upped the ante a little bit, and they've brought in some additional panthers. What they had planned, they only had a couple in this cage, but they go over to a nearby warehouse and grab a couple of others. It's like a cage on wheels, and they just roll it over. They put the cage up against one of these gates, and then they use a rope to open the side of the gate, and it unleashes the panther down into the pit. There's actually stairs at the other side, and then they cordon off the end of Executioner's Run. Also, I apologize about the lack of variety of music I have for people who enjoy that as well. I had like so much music for this campaign, and it all got taken away when Fanburst shut down. So I'm like trying to compile a compendium of good jungle music, because there's some awesome like jungle songs. So I'm gonna add a whole lot more tracks for next week. So
like in the jungle, the mighty mighty jungle.
Yeah. I'm gonna download the Lion King album and just play that. All right. So you're looking down at the end of Executioner's Run, Orion. Your rage, unless you're somehow damaging yourself every round, it's going to actually. Well, let me see how these panthers move fast. They probably reach you in a couple of rounds.
Unless I attack anything.
You can keep that rage up. Just some more people have started to gather. Some of the commoners, the beggars, and even it looks like some merchants nearby have stopped, and you've started to gather a little bit more of a crowd. They cheer you on, and you look around, Orion. These walls are 15 feet high. They're smooth, blood-spattered walls. And there are people looking down at you. There's adrenaline just rushing through your system. People are cheering, and that alone is enough to keep you raking.
Sweet.
So these 4 panthers, they set off and they sprint so quickly. They cover like 100 feet in 6 seconds. You can move up.
Can I down a healing potion while they're getting the cage set up?
It takes them 2 rounds to reach you.
Okay.
Alright, you just down that healing potion, smash it on the ground. And also Bellum and her husband Draza, they move up as well. Rush up to stay near you guys. And that guard also, he smiles at you, Kalendor. Double or nothing, yes.
They've got this. All right, look at him go.
Okay, let's roll initiative again. Alright, Petra, you're up first.
Pretty much since this guy is next to me, I am going to continue just to watch on because I don't want him to see me helping them.
Okay, fair enough. Calendar.
Guys, look, you lose this, you owe me 20 gold. No negotiations.
There's a vicious panther, sleek, black fur, muscular. It's very limber, wiry, and it covers great distances very, very quickly. This panther runs straight up the wall. It climbs up the wall using its claws, straight over the cage. This feral beast leaps up onto the sidewalk and comes in. As it pounces off of this cage to this unsuspecting commoner, and just rips the commoner's esophagus straight out of her throat. She, her eyes widen. She tries to speak, but she doesn't have a throat, and it's just laying on the ground next to her. Blood bursts out of her neck cavity, and she immediately collapses onto the ground. Right next to you, Talon. And this panther, it actually charges Turek. And when it does, it tries to claw. It pounces. As it pounces you, Turek, you need to make a strength saving throw. It leaps on you, claws first, and attempts to land on you and knock you onto the ground. You take 3 slashing damage and you're knocked onto the ground prone. And it now tries to bite you using a bonus action. It chomps you for 5 piercing damage as well. Orion.
Reckless club attack.
That hits. You smack the panther in the ribs. It knocks it along the ground. It does a bit of a barrel roll, and then it scrapes its claws along the bloody floor and brings itself back up.
And I probably can't help my friendly dinosaur up on this turn after I attacked, correct?
No.
Okay.
That would be an action to like grab him and help him up. Turek.
Alright, I'm going to stand up. Bite.
Alright, do you have pack tactics as that thing? No.
I don't think so.
Alright, that hits. And you just snap onto the panther's neck, and you hold on until the panther collapses. And the panther just falls onto the ground dead.
Okay, and I'm going to move 20 feet forward because I still have 20 feet of movement left. And that activates a pounce as I claw at this panther directly in front of me.
Okay, you do a pounce attack. And that hits. Alright, is it the same thing, strength save? Okay.
Yeah, it's a strength save, DC 12.
Alright, you pounce on the panther. And this large dinosaur, it's you're pretty much the same size as a panther, although you're a little bit taller. You're less wide, but if you like to measure the mass of each creature, you're on a very similar level. And you try to knock the panther onto the ground. You land on it, and you land on its side, claws first, leaping through the air. You knock it straight down onto the ground, and then you crit bite it. Alright, your claws sink into its ribs. It's hit to the ground, and then you just bite onto its neck and just tear its entire neck out. Dead.
And then I use my final claw attack at the last panther.
That's a miss. The panther.
I do
Jumps
have
around.
bless.
Roll a 1d4. 11 is a miss. As you claw at the panther snarls and viciously snaps its fangs at you and bites you for 7 piercing damage. Talum.
Well, I'm pretty sure the rules don't go against me killing something that's attacking, well, pretty much me. So, I'm gonna try to whack it.
That hits. You smack the panther in its side. You hear a couple of ribs crack and break. And it just snarls.
I step on the other side of that thing, and that's
Petra.
So, pretty much, I just want confirmation. I turn to the guard and I ask him if it's okay if we dispose of that.
The guard's already got his spear out, and he just nods. Go for it, all yours. He looks like he's willing to defend himself, but he's happy to allow you to intervene.
So I will Eldritch Blast.
That hits. Alright, you fire at the panther, and the beam crashes into the side of the beast, and it's seriously injured. Calendar.
Run up there.
You come in with a rapier, but the panther ducks underneath and weaves to the side as your rapier goes through
Or
the air.
then I'll disengage.
Alright, the panther is going to, snarl and just try and bite you back, Talum. Miss. It bites the head of your warhammer. Orion.
Sorry, I was muted. Reckless attack.
That hits, and you are quite good at harming cats, actually. So you just
This is so therapeutic.
smack the cat. You hit a cat. Smack the cat in the face. Wow! How do you as a player feel about this?
Oh my god, I feel fantastic. Fuck you, Isabel.
You got history. Alright. Turek.
Turek bites.
That is a hit. And you're ripping these panthers apart. You do it like both of your fangs, like your fangs and the panther's fangs. They go into this little scuffle, this little melee of bites and claws like wild beasts do. And then suddenly you just sink your teeth into its chest, and like your teeth just pierce its heart, and it instantly kills the panther.
All right, and run forward 40 feet.
Tell him.
By the way, does shield count as armor?
No, shield's not gonna make you. I mean, it may be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not gonna make you overheat.
Well, I'm talking about fighting style defense.
Oh no, shield. No, not for that. Oh wait.
Alright.
Yeah, defense no.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm fucking doomed on AC.
Panther's almost dead. You're looking at this panther and you can't imagine the panther is going to take you down, Talon. You just whack it over the face and the panther's head hits the gate, the cage, and then it just falls onto the ground dead. The crowd cheers some more. And the guard, he snarls a little bit. Tick, 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 tick. Just sort of muttering to himself. You there! You! Man, your friend is brave, yes? Double or nothing once more. 20 gold! If they can take down the crowd pleaser. And he points to this raging beast in this cage over here.
Yes.
Alright. He calls out to the gladiators. And all of a sudden, they move the cage up on the rollers. They unleash it. And an Allosaurus starts thumping down Executioner's Run without any prior warning.
They're gonna take away this dead commoner. He's gonna leave him there.
They don't really seem to care that much, to tell you the truth. They couple of guards are gonna come and drag off that body and take it to the dinosaur pen for food.
Look, this one doesn't multiply, fellas, so I think you got this one.
Alright, this beast, it is much larger, much larger than the Velociraptors. This particular one, it has these colourful markings on it, and almost these patterns like bird feathers. It's got red skin, and it runs quite quick. It is tearing down Executioner's Run. Claws first. These massive 4 spike claws just reaching, ready to just tear flesh off of bone. And
Yeah.
Orion and Turing, you guys feel like these gladiators have it in for you guys. They seemingly randomly just released an Allosaurus to attack you.
Wow.
Why would
What
they do
a
that?
cool person would release that?
And Drasser and Belim, they just look at you, Calendor. Are you crazy? Why would you do that?
This one doesn't multiply itself out of nowhere. They're fine.
Alright, one particular woman seems to you seem to have gotten her attention. She's dressed like royalty. She wears armor, robes with the gold filigree. She does wear actually some light armor. It's gold studded leather, like studded leather studded with gold. And yeah, she's kind of staunch herself. She looks like an able-bodied fighter, someone of great importance. You can tell by the way she's dressed. She has gold beads in her hair. A Cholton woman. And yeah, you've gotten her attention now with this Allosaurus being released. Let's roll initiative again. For 20 gold.
That's what I'm worried about.
That is the price of your life, according to Calendor. Tell him you're up.
The guard. I asked the guard. Still no help towards them.
The guard just very confidently turns towards you. Ha ha! Help all you want. Let's bring up the show!
Alright. I just take out the... How far to go? 30 feet.
You're 25 feet away. If you count the closest square.
I'll yell out, if you have an extra sword, I would not be opposed.
Oh, and as an interact with the object, I just throw... Oh wait, you need a sword or a warhammer would do?
I mean, I prefer
Or
a
your
sword.
dexterity base?
I am dex, so... You do you.
Okay. I just throw a javelin at...
You throw a javelin at me?
No, at the dinosaur.
Talon's actually got bets against you guys, so... Alright, you throw a javelin down at the Allosaurus. It sticks into its flesh. It barely bothers the beast at all.
Oh. I see.
Good luck, guys.
Ryan.
I'll run my 30 feet, and I will very angrily take the dodge action.
Okay.
If that's okay. Can
Alright.
I maintain rage, or do I have to attack?
If you don't get attacked or take damage by the end of next round, you'll lose your rage.
Alright.
You could always make an attack by
Aggressively
throwing a
punch the
club
air.
It's technically an attack.
Wait, what
Throw
is...
the club at it.
I mean, you could ready an
No.
attack. It's about to jump on your face.
I'm gonna dodge. It's gonna attack me. I'll maintain rage when it attacks me.
Okay. Calendar.
Inspired by Talon, I'm gonna chuck my rapier at Orion.
Alright, you go to throw it through this gate, the fence that surrounds Executioner's Run, and the crossguard of the rapier gets caught on it and it just falls down right here.
Alright, you have a little hope.
Yeah, thanks.
And I just
Focus
want
on
to
something else.
Is there anywhere to hide around here?
There is a number of small stalls selling trinkets, and there's some buildings and whatnot.
I think they're a bit too far away.
Yeah, depends who you're trying to hide from.
The dinosaur, I imagine.
Okay, I am going. Crap. Give me a second. I'm going to run over here, pick up the sword with my teeth.
The crowd go
Run up
crazy.
here.
Have you ever seen it before? A dinosaur wielding a sword!
And that puts me at 40 feet here.
Alright, this Allosaurus, it just roars. And it screeches. And it, I mean, it doesn't make sense thematically, but it's gonna run back. And then it's gonna pounce. But presume it's had a run up from when it first entered. And it runs up for a pounce. And it's going to just leap straight at Turek with a claw.
Damn.
Don't worry, it has multiple attacks. That means.
It misses.
I thought my AC was
13.
12. Oh no, it's 13. Sweet.
Yeah, it swipes over the top of your head, and the giant beast ends its turn now.
It knows.
Petra.
Right, so I look back at the guard and say, so we are allowed to help, right?
Of course. Let's bring up this show.
I cast magic missile on it.
Alright. It's soon turned from a someone's death trial into like a show that people are gathering to watch. Some entertainment in the streets. You fire your hand, you point your hand towards the fence, and the magic missiles weave in between the gaps of these rusty iron bars. They swirl around over the top of Turek and Orion, and 3 glowing white darts slam into the Allosaurus' side, knocking it about a little bit.
I will move right there afterwards and my.
Tell them. I'll move these cages. They roll these cages up over here to make room. Tell them.
Yeah. Well, not thematically. That would be metagaming, actually. So I'm just gonna throw another javelin at Saurus.
What did you want to do?
Shoot boring.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I tried to shoot one at Orion.
To keep his rage going. Well,
Yeah.
he's about to attack anyway, so like his rage is going to run out.
Well.
Unless for some reason he doesn't attack. All right. The javelin is a miss. It falls short and lands on the ground next to the Allosaurus.
All right.
Orion.
Can I take the sword?
The sword is offered to you by the dinosaur.
That is the most amazing sentence that I've ever heard.
People actually seem a little bit disappointed that the dinosaur is not using the sword as a weapon, but still, you're keeping the crowd on edge.
What kind of sword is it?
It's a rapier.
Oh, lovely. I will not recklessly attack the dinosaur.
Ooh.
That hits, and you drive the rapier straight into the Allosaurus' side. It punctures a wound through it. The Allosaurus flinches a little bit. Blood spurts out to mix in with all the other blood-spattered stains that line this pit of doom. And Kalendor, you're up.
I will fire off my shot bow at it.
Fire all you want. And you hit the Allosaurus in its gigantic neck. The beast is starting to bleed quite badly and looks like it's tiring. Turig. Crit. You jump on it and 16 piercing damage. You just bite it on its neck, and it's like shaking its neck from side to side, and it's just causing an even worse injury as you're just ripping its gigantic throat out. You go to claw at it, but that claw misses. It just sort of scrapes along its flesh. You do. That will be a hit. Yeah. And you just drive a claw into its throat, like your entire claw goes in, and then you just pull back your head, and when it does, it just snaps out its spinal cord, and this massive dinosaur collapses to the ground. And the crowd go wild. They cheer you guys. They erupt and applaud. Beggars, commoners, merchants, guards alike. Everyone seems ecstatic.
And the dinosaur.
Except for that one guy that owes me 20 gold.
Yeah, he's not looking so ecstatic.
The Turig, after the dinosaur falls, turns over to Orion and like nuzzles him in the face with all the blood and gore on his mouth, just smearing dinosaur blood all over Orion's face.
Oh, I hug and pet the dinosaur. That's adorable. And then I yell, I kind of yell, but kind of howl almost in victory.
I cheer out Orion, the dinosaur slayer.
Oh, now it's Turk.
The guard grumbles. Take your gold then. And he just shoves a little leather sack into your chest, Kalendor, that has 20 gold pieces in it. Add that to your inventory.
As Torek reaches the top step, he turns back into little goblin.
Okay.
Still covered with blood and gore.
Alright, as you're walking up, you just you take one step as a dinosaur, and then the next step, your skin turns green, and the next step, poof, you fully transform back into Torek. The gladiator, he actually seems quite impressed. Good job, he says. And they let you out on this side of the street. You can't be in there as well, Petra. You can go around though.
Okay, I go around.
And they let you guys out on this side of the street. And Bellum and Draza just say, let's go and greet them. And they run with you guys as well. Are you okay?
I have a little moment before we get out with Orion. It says, "You is me tribe. You is me tribe now."
I need a new tribe. Thank you. You're my tribe.
I pat Orion on the back and I cure him.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for saving my husband. If it was not for you, he'd be dead. Those dinosaurs would have ripped him apart. I don't know how to repay you.
Turek ripped dinosaur apart.
Yes, you did.
And Panther.
You fought very, very well.
Drasa, was it? You are innocent, right?
Yes, friend. I did not steal. I do not think the authorities took kindly, though, to your friends aiding you, but I feel that I am safe now. Thank you so much. Thank you, yes. Listen, we are not people of much means, but I have my savings here. You should take it, please. There is no price for my husband's life. And she gives Orion and Turek 25 silver pieces.
You know, no thing. I don't want to take your savings. It's really okay. Keep your money.
Is it 25 silver pieces each,
It's
or
in total.
Okay.
Yeah. You can keep.
Please, no.
Turek
you need it
takes
more than we do.
his half.
I'll just give you the whole 25, Turek. We believe in paying our way. We can make more silver, but a life we cannot get back. And that sentence means more to you guys than what it seems, because it reminds you of the death curse. And yes, a life cannot be brought back. Are you not worried about the repercussions? Interfering in executioner's pit, it can be very bad for you.
Turek was thrown in pit.
Not you, but the others.
Well, we did ask the guards if it was okay, and he said go ahead.
Yes. Of course he did. And for completing the quest, which I just gave you the handout for. And the encounters, you guys get, right, for the quest, for the encounters, it's 187 experience points. For the quest, it's 55 experience points. So 187, then 55. And as Draza and Bellum seem to worry about the authorities, this gladiatorial woman, she steps up and speaks. And immediately Draza and Bellum, they seem like sort of awestruck. And both of them, they kneel before her. And even the gladiators, they kneel. And what do you guys do?
Turek kneels.
I'll give a polite bow.
Orion is a free man.
I'll kneel.
He nods his head when he sees Turek go down, but he doesn't bow his back.
One of the merchant princesses of Fort Nyanzaru, the mighty Ekin Afa, gladiatorial champion. She is great.
Going
for
from
her.
that, since I'm part of the guild's, I have a guild's membership. Would I know her?
A guild membership?
I don't think the merchant princes are part of the merchant guild.
Yeah. This is not a guild. They're princesses, princes and princesses. They're pretty much the richest traders in Port Nyanzaru. They're yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah, your guild would be relating back to Baldur's Gate, Petra. But you may have some contacts within a guild in the city. It may be able to vie you a little bit of influence within these merchant princes, however. But yeah, you still haven't. You don't really know about the whole political system of Port Nyanzaru too much, but that could definitely help you. Something.
So yeah, I just for now give a polite bow because I really don't know the system or anything.
Very good, very good. You can rise now. You fought very well down there in the pit. I admire you. I am Akin Afa, merchant princess, gladiatorial champion of Jolt.
I am Orion.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Petra.
Your weapons,
Me is Turek.
your armor, they are of standard make.
Yes.
You are adventurers that have come to try and stop this death curse, yes? There is a swarm of them that have come to our city, our beautiful city of Port Nyanzaru. Yes, that is you.
Yes.
This is very good. This is very good. I saw the way you used the bow and the rapier. I am in charge of trade when it comes to weapons and shields of every kind. A lot of my inventory is flint daggers, but I also specialize in yakalwas. If you are trading in Port Nyanzaru with these items, then you are trading with me. You must be permitted to trade with certain commodities in Port Nyanzaru. Each one of the merchant princes, like myself, control a different commodity. I admire you all, and I would hope to see you drop by the gladiatorial arena We are always looking for new champions. I myself were just like you, running in Executioner's Pit, fighting off little dinosaurs. The first time I was down there, it was because of a crime of my own making. I crushed a man's skull on the street. He made an inappropriate pass at me. Still, this was a crime for me. And I fought my way through with my bare hands. I was intrigued. The thrill of the fight, the adrenaline. It made me want more. I found myself coming back here every week to watch poor hapless souls be ripped limb from limb. And you know what I did?
What
Did
is
you
that?
fight?
I crushed another man's skull. He was a bad man, but I made it seen. So I was thrown back into the pit on purpose. There I earned fame. I earned my reputation as a warrior, as a gladiator, and I was accepted to fight in the gladiatorial pit, and I have worked my way up to merchant princess. Anyway, that is enough about me. If you are looking to head to the jungle and you have coin for trade, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Wakanga Atomo. He can place enchantments on my weapons, increase their durability and strength. I give you all permission to trade in this manner. Let it be known.
Thank you very much. Perhaps I have a question though, if you don't mind answering.
Of course. Whatever you need. I admire you. You have my respect.
My friends here are still not used to the heat. As of myself, I'm not used to the heat of this this land. Perhaps your friend does enchantments that would lessen our burden.
You would have to speak to Wakanga. I am not one that dabbles in the magic myself. I believe in wood and stone. Steel and hide.
Understandable.
I hope to see you at the gladiatorial arena. It looks like I have had my fill of entertainment now. Good luck. And she just walks off. Traza and Bellum, thank you guys once more. We must be going now too. We must get back to our children. Thank you again so much. You are too kind.
Can I try to sleight of hand a gold into one of their pockets?
Yeah.
Shit.
Not a platinum. You're so cheap.
He touched me. Akeem, crush his skull. She notices you do it, but doesn't contest. She just
Good.
continues to walk off, pretends that she didn't see it.
So she told us about, what was the guy's name again? The enchanter?
Wakanga. It's Syndra's
Which is
friend.
the same, yeah.
Okay.
Which
So
is
yes,
good. We have permission to trade with them now.
Yes, tell him perhaps you can ask him about something that will make your armor less heated.
So from
That
what
would
you
be nice.
from what you gathered, obviously you don't need permission to buy things, but to sell things, apparently you need permission by the merchant princes. You need some sort of approval from these merchant princes or princesses. So you've now got permission to sell weapons and shields.
Does that extend to like magic weapons we might find on our journey, or specifically? Okay.
Well, you've heard that the merchant princes seem to control different commodities, and this Wakanga person seems to be the authority on magic items.
Gotcha. Well, let's go see Wakanga then.
Yep.
That was fun.
Alright. As you guys leave Executioner's Run, you notice this like smoldering pit of garbage, and that dead person is like dragged off into this refuse pit over here. They just like, you see them just toss the body in this massive sinkhole of smoldering mess. And you'll also see Draza and Belem go off to their nearby home in the old city. Okay, you guys head on over to Wakanga's. So you continue heading through, like, you notice the sparse disparity between the old city and then the merchant ward. Like, it's just like walking into another world. You go from crumbling buildings that are dilapidated, falling over one another, to these beautifully tended streets and lovely looking, sprawling, multi-story villas that overlook all of the dingy streets below. And just as you guys go to head up the stairs over here near the Temple of Gond, everyone roll me a 1d20. Ryan, you meet a strange lady. She does not make you breakfast, though.
Oh.
She grabs your hand. Her eyes look bloodshot. She just looks like a simple merchant carrying a few baubles on a bamboo rod. But out of nowhere, she just grabs onto your arm, like supernaturally tight. And her bloodshot eyes pierce you. And she sort of like yells at you in Cholton. She yells something in Cholton at you, and no one can understand it. And what do, Orion? She's like really gripping your arm tight. She looks like troubled.
Hey, let go of me! What are you saying? Let go of me!
She her grip tightens, and then she suddenly whispers something to you in your ear in common. Speak to the wise guardian of Oralunga, east of Mabala. She can direct you to that which you seek. And then she just collapses. She falls unconscious on the ground in front of you.
Petra,
Yeah.
Talon, do the thing.
And
I rush over and cast Cure Wounds.
I cast Brother Dying.
Oh, okay.
Alright, yeah, she just falls on the ground. I mean, she's just unconscious. Spare the Dying doesn't actually work, because she's not dying. She just fainted by the looks of it.
I just use healing hands on her.
Okay.
She's healed for 2 HP.
She starts speaking in Cholton.
What about Oralunga? What did you say? Say that again.
She looks frightened of you all. She crawls back away from you before she stands up. She reaches out for her bamboo rod, and she brings herself to her feet and puts her rod back over her shoulders and starts backing away from you guys, trying to head down the stairs back towards the old city.
We'll move out of her way and just kind of let her go.
Yep, same.
Did you guys hear that?
No, not really. I just saw her talking to you, I guess, whispering in your ear or something.
A spirit must have come over her or something. A shaman of some kind told me to speak to the wise one that's east of Orlunga.
No,
According
east
to-
of Impala.
Oh, sorry, of what? I must have misheard.
We go to Orlunga east of Mambala.
Gotcha.
I give you guys a handout for that quest as well.
Thank you. And
Another
Orlunga
tidbit.
is one of the places that the Order of the Gauntlet wants us to find.
Yeah.
Excellent. All this connects.
And if we go to the Order of the Gauntlet place, we could get a lead on both where that might be and where Artist Simber might be.
Possible.
Okay.
Either way, let's continue to go see Sindra.
Yes.
All right. You guys head up to Wakanga's villa, where Sindra directed you guys to. And let me grab everyone's tokens up. All right. So, first of all, before you actually get to the villa, you notice that the Merchant's Ward is just amazing. It's a very upper class section of the city, but it's something else. There's these gigantic residences that have beautifully plastered walls adorned with bright murals. There are patios and arcades festooned with fresh flowers. There are garden courtyards opening up to the sky. There are enormous cisterns equipped with water wheels that power fountains. There are large fans on the streets that are blowing a gentle breeze through your wall, and all sorts of kinetic sculptures. It looks like there is some sort of advanced level of technology. There are a number of contraptions here that which are likes of you've never seen before, including gates that open themselves when you approach. That happens when you enter the residence of Wakanga. The large gates with a stylized W open up as you make your way into the grounds of the villa itself. You head on in and you see a sprawling villa. It's very lavish. It looks very airy, and you come up to the front door and there are two heavily armored guards standing by the main entryway in the front door of the villa. They look like these gladiators that you'd seen earlier at Executioner's Run. They have full face steel helms that hide their faces entirely. And they don't say anything. They just both have their spears in their hands, a shield in the other hand, and they stand flanking these doors.
I'll go up to one and say, I believe we are expected by Lady Sandala.
Name?
Petra, and this is the group that I'm with: Talim, Turig, Kalendor, and Orion.
We know of that name. One of them rings a bell attached to a small rope next to the entryway. And the front doors open. And a servant wearing a golden necklace with a golden coin greets you all. Welcome guests to Wakanga's villa. My name is Obaya Uday. Wakanga has been expecting you all.
Yes, thank you. We will follow your lead.
The entryway is very pleasant and breezy. There's a small portico, and you seem to be required to take off your shoes. She takes off her shoes. She's just wearing some slippers and puts them next to the door. And then she turns to you all. Please take off your footwear.
I will do so. Probably is going to be cooler on the floor now.
I don't know, some mighty foot odor is going to come from these shoes out in that heat. But, you know, when in Rome.
Alright, you take off your shoes. And up ahead, you see this amazing tiled courtyard. This place is just like nothing you've ever seen before. There's a large splashing fountain. There are tropical green plants. Do you need to refresh yourselves? Abaya says.
I would say yes before we meet the owner of the home.
You may use the washroom. And she opens up a door. And there's just a small washroom here where you guys can freshen up. It's like a toilet, a basin with a tap that spurts out fresh water.
Yeah, pretty much clean off the sweat.
Yeah, there's.
I drink a whole lot of it.
Yeah, clean up the sweat and try to get as pretty much unsmelly as possible.
Of course.
I don't think Orion has ever bathed. I mean, he's an Uthgardt barbarian. They just kind of like swim the stream sometimes. Like all this politeness and shit is very foreign. What the hell are you guys doing?
Well, I'm sure if you bathe, you're just more like a dog anyway.
Sure.
We're not bathing. We're pretty much. I wiped down his face so he's not as dirty as he usually is.
I shake water all over the floor.
I hit Orion with a newspaper.
Obaya also like she'll collect any like towels that you have inside. It's a very very nice washroom. There's like all of these like sort of stuccoed walls. It's very rustic looking. It's very tropical, and there are little trinkets around what's not, and strange decorations, like exotic looking Aztec style decorations from some distant land, and Mazdacan style decorations, I should say.
There is a whole lot of gore that Turek washes off, and Turek drags Orion in. Well, as much as a goblin can drag a barbarian into the thing.
Such a cultured goblin.
Yeah. I help wash his face from all the gore and blood. Yeah.
Get off me! Stop it!
Obaya, she makes sure you guys are all freshened up, and she like gives you guys all this a light set of clothes. It's very very light material, and she'll take all of your armor and whatnot and keep it safe. You're expected to put it on. It's a very simple clothes. It's like a robe, very loose fitting pants. And
I wear it as a tunic.
Whether you're a male or a female, it's the same set of clothes. And yeah, she's even got a small set for you, Toreg. And yeah,
well, not a tunic, a loincloth. That's what I was thinking. I wear it as a loincloth. Okay.
And yeah, not having a shirt on is like perfectly acceptable in Chult. Like most people are walking around bare-chested because it's so hot. And yeah, she gives you guys a set of bamboo slippers for you guys to put on. So you're wearing this very light clothing. You're all sort of freshened up. And yeah, the heat is nowhere near as bad, especially with this bubbling fountain that blows a bit of a cool breeze upon you guys. And immediately it feels the most comfortable you have so far. It's very, very pleasant. Obaya takes all of your dirty clothes and whatnot. and says they will be washed and hung to dry. You can collect them before you depart. They will dry quickly, do not worry. I will get on to that. Please make yourself welcome in the sitting area. And she points to this area over here where you see some decorative columns supporting an arched area to the east. There are a number of comfortable looking pillows and some rugs, and they're just arranged on the floor, so you just to sit on the floor while you wait here. There are these narrow windows looking out into a garden to the east, and Orion and Kalendor, you see that these could probably double as arrow slits as well. They kind of remind you guys of arrow slits. I'm not sure if Petra and Talum and Turek would maybe think that.
They're just very narrow windows.
I look under the carpet.
Thank you. It's very important.
It's been swept.
Underneath the carpet's been swept.
Yes.
These guys are far.
Yeah.
Alright, you wait for about 20 minutes, and then Syndra appears. You made it! Wakunga wishes to meet with you. Come.
Wakanda forever.
You notice there is there's this very soft ambient music playing throughout the entire villa as well. It's just a very slow jungle beat. It just adds to the ambience of the place. Also, there are a number of torches that are blazing with fire. However, the fire doesn't seem to give off any heat. It's like a magical torch sconces. And as you head into this entry chamber, it's magnificent. This is it's like a 2-story tall. Like the roof is 2 stories tall, so it's like 20 feet high already. And then this entryway opens up to like a 40-foot high open hall where you can see the 2nd story above you all. The floor is magnificently tiled, and it's flanked by these 2 sweeping staircases that ascend. And there are some decorations on the walls here. You see a number of magic items. They seem to be held behind glass panels. They're just uncommon magic items. There's a necklace, a staff, a sword, and a pair of gloves. They're all displayed in these glass cabinets on the walls. And Syndra takes you through to a room at the end of the hall. Come. He pushes open the door. And there's a dining room here. You see a very low table, and it's packed to the brim with tropical fruit, glasses of tej, and also fruit nectar. There's a brilliant display waiting for you guys. There are lychees, mangoes, there are sapote, there are all sorts of tropical fruits, some that you don't even know what they are. You've never seen anything like this before. And then there are grapes, and there's a full-on buffet of delicious tropical fruit waiting for you. There are some very comfy looking cushiony divans, and there's a tropical small palm in a pot against the western wall. And just like kicking back on one of these divans with his bare feet up, sort of one slumped over the armrest, is this man. He does get up to greet you all as you enter with Syndra. Ha! Ha ha ha! Welcome, welcome, my guests. I am Wakunga. I am glad to have you in my home.
You is Kanga, me is Turek.
Ah, little Batiri. Welcome, welcome. Turig, is it? Ah, a lovely name, a lovely name. You are all of Cinder's friends, yes?
Yes, my name is Petra, and actually, we were told by you by another person in the city while we were making our way here.
Oh my dear. I do not believe we have the pleasure of meeting yet. And he just stands straight up and comes over and grabs your hand. I am Wakanga, if you did not catch that. Wakanga Otomo. Did you know I am a prince?
No, I didn't. Well, what technically I would have because she told us. Yes, like I mentioned, we met somebody that knows you in the. She told us about you.
Kisses the back of your hand. Ah, yes, everything you've heard about me is true. I am a powerful merchant prince here in Port Nyanzaru, and this is my manor. Yes, it is all mine. All of my wealth. Sindrick sort of coughs a little bit. You let go of your hand, Petra. But we're not here to talk about me. We are here for something else. A serious matter. Poor Sindra, my good friend, she is ill. So, you are planning to go into the jungle, I hear.
Yes. I hear many adventurers have already gone in.
Yes. Many adventurers have gone in, and many will not return. Are you going to be such adventurers that you will not return?
I hope that we're not.
How do you find Port Nyanzaru so far? You've been here for several hours, yes? Do you like the city?
It is a very interesting city. Like I said, we wandered around a bit while we were finding our place to stay and then coming to here.
The Executioner's Run was quite interesting.
Executioner's Run? My oh my. You really have got into the spirit of Port Nyanzaru thus far. Did you watch someone get ripped to shreds?
No. Me rip much things to shreds.
Actually, our two friends here assisted in righting a wrong and assisting a kind man in proving his innocence and taking his place in the arena.
Oh, my. Oh, you must have put on quite a show. Let me see. Oh, there are still 5 of you. No one died. Very good. Wakanga. Let's get down to the point of this. Here. I've got the map for you all, Sindra says. And she puts it down on the table. You also notice Sindra hasn't eaten anything. But Wakanga does say, help yourself to the fruit as well, on the house. Any friend of Sindra's is a friend of mine. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely been eating the food and drinking the tej. I'm only civilized so much.
Listen, this is the best map of Jolt that is available. Much of the inland has not been mapped. There is a list of all of the known locations here. You'll need this to navigate your way through Jolt. No one has any idea where the death curse is originating. You're going in blind. I'm afraid I don't have any particular advice for you all where to start. There is something I see in you all, though. And although there are other groups of adventurers that have headed out before you, I feel that you stand out somehow. Perhaps it's because of our recent dealings together. Perhaps there is something more to this. I urge you, please, for the sake of everyone, stop this death curse. Wakangi here. He is the only arcane spellcaster amongst the merchant princesses. He's been my friend for a very long time. He has powerful contacts. He deals in knowledge, lost lore, potions and scrolls. But even he is stumped by this death curse. Yes, it is true. I have more wealth than I could ever hope to spend in my lifetime. I have seen powerful magic items that can turn a dragon into dust. Anything I have ever wanted, I have gotten it through command of power. But this death curse, this is something else. This is something grave. And I am yet to see your conviction. Why do you want to stop the death curse so badly? None of you are afflicted.
Well, there was one of us that was, and is currently lying dead. We wish to release the curse as soon as possible to bring her back, and of course to save Syndra as well, which is one of our recent friends.
The thing that did it killed my tribe, my old tribe. I'm hunting it with my new tribe.
Syndra is my tribe. Syndra brought me home. Syndra brought Turek home. Syndra me tribe, me safe.
So you have a personal stake. What about you? And he nods his head towards you, Calendar. As he moves, you can see his long beard is beautifully braided with a variety of gemmed beads, and they sort of jingle across each other like a wind chime as he moves his head. Why do you want to stop the death curse so badly? Calendar? Are you there? I guess you don't want to stop the death curse so badly. What about you? And he looks at you, tell him.
Well, I mean, I'm how to say this, a paladin of good, so, and plus my faction also decided that it would be a good thing to come here and aid whatever is going on here, while also taking a map of this place.
So you do this for the goodness of your own heart, or so you believe, or is it your compulsion that has you tied to this, what was it, cult, you said?
Faction, Order of the Gauntlet, if you have heard of it.
Yes. I'm sorry, Common is not my first language. Your faction. Order of the Gauntlet, you said?
Yeah.
Do you have a contact here? In the city?
As far as I know, no. All I know is that I just need to acquire a map to return to, of some ancient ruins. Well, the locations of the ruins around this place. And, in return.
A large group of your faction members, they headed into the jungle several weeks ago. They have not returned.
Yes, we were told about that. They were setting up camp somewhere. Do you know where that might have been?
I like to keep myself amused with news of all of these foreigners coming to the jungles of Cholt and thinking they can conquer it. And then enjoy hearing about the tales how the jungles of Cholt has then conquered them. I believe they set up a camp. It is on the map. Yes, we have located it. Camp Vengeance. You'll see it there. It is a little ways away. That is where their camp was set to be set up.
Do you know how long ago they left to set up that camp?
It was several weeks ago now. It's almost coincidentally that so many new factions have come to Jolt. There seems to be a demand for accurate maps. The death curse, I guess, has boosted the surge. But, yes, those other soldiers, the ones that have the badge of the Flaming Fist, they too have come to the jungles of Cholt, and they think they can claim it for themselves. Men in armor wandering into the jungle. It amuses me so much. I am happy to see them all throw their lives away.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Of course, of course. Friends, guess. Ask me anything you want. Many people, they would strive to have an audience with a merchant prince.
Do you know what Oralunga is?
Orelunga. Yes. It is an ancient temple deep within the jungle that is said to have disappeared a long time ago. I am not sure exactly where it is. Many things have changed in Jolt with the merging of worlds.
The jungle has changed somehow? The merging of...
This is a time before when you were alive. Do not worry about this. Focus on the matter at hand. Focus on the present. And focus on your coin pouches. I am willing to extend my services for you. I sell potions. Common and uncommon ones. And spell scrolls. That is my specialty.
We were told by Ekene Afa, if I pronounced that right, that you also dab in magical gear or enchantments.
So you did survive down at Executioner's Run. You must have put on quite a show to get the admiration of Akinafa.
Me told you, me destroy a lot of things. Me tear things apart.
Interesting. Yes. If what you say is true, and I entirely trust you, then I can indeed have some of your items enchanted, for I am the merchant prince that controls the commodity of magic items in the Port Nyanzaru. Here are my prices for my potions and scrolls.
Speaking of which, do you know any way I acquire some, armor that would not kill me in this blazing heat?
Go down to the Grand Souk. I do not deal in those things. Your friend, if you can call her that, Akin, she is the one who deals in that. Go down to the Grand Souk, you'll find anything you need.
Well, she told us to come to you for that matter. Okay.
She asked us if for an enchantment that would prevent him from getting heat stroke. It would best ask you if you knew of
enchantment to prevent heat stroke. Oh, you're being serious?
Well, there's always a possibility. It doesn't hurt to ask.
If you're going into the jungle, I would suggest you find a suitable guide. Doing so, entering the jungle without a guide, it will be detrimental to your well-being. I deal in potions and scrolls. I can also now, with the permission of Akin of course, enchant weapons and armor for you all. This will be limited. Remember, I am still a merchant prince, and I did not get my reputation from making friends. And here's a list of my enchantments, and it gives you a price list. So those are his prices for potions and scrolls, and this is the price for enchantments. He can do 1 piece of ammunition +1. You can enchant it to +1 for 50 gold pieces. You can get a shield enchanted for 450 gold pieces. Or you can get a +1 dagger or a +1 Yakawa for 500 gold pieces.
What's a Yukawa?
What is a Yakawa? Tell me, friend. Shinzo tells me that she teleported you down into the royal docks. Did you happen to see the large statue out on the bay?
I did, actually.
Did you see the stone-bladed spear? Let me see.
Yes.
He clicks his fingers. Obaya! Bring her Yakawa! And Obaya comes as Wakanga clicks his fingers. She enters the room. And she brings this traditional Cholton weapon. It's a stone spear. And I'll give you a handout of what it looks like. It's a simple melee weapon. It's a 3-foot wooden shaft with a steel or a stone blade. This one is a stone blade, which is 18 inches long. And costs 1 GP, does 1d8 piercing damage, and it has the thrown weapon property, although it's not very well balanced for thrown. This is what you want if you're heading into the jungle, yes! If you want to blend in with the jungles of Cholt, you have to fight like a Cholton warrior. Everyone should have a Yakalwa.
Is it wielded with 1 or 2 hands?
The Yakalwa. You wield it in 1 hand, of course.
Ooh. I like it. I like it a lot. How much for?
I do not sell Yakalwa, nor do I have permission to sell Yakalwa.
Fair enough.
The merchants down at the Grand Souk, they have permission by Kinafa to sell these weapons. I can merely enchant them.
So, just in case, if we do come across anything particularly magical, would you be the one that we would be allowed to sell it to?
Oh yes. I am buying magic items all the time. In fact, I am planning to send Obaye here over to the big city on the mainland. What is it called? The big one.
Baldur's Gate?
No, the big one. Waterlog.
Waterdeep?
Waterdeep.
Oh yes, Waterdeep. I am going to send her there. I have heard there is a some sort of a dungeon, big dungeon. Adventurers go down, they come out, they have many magic items. That is where you'll be going, Obaya. I'm sorry to distract you. Now, anything else you need from me?
Actually, if you don't mind, we've already found a guide, but would you recommend anything for taking into the jungle if we're going?
Food and water. The essentials. And some insect repellents. You don't want a lot of nasty bugs biting you. You may get a disease.
I'd like to buy a potion from you.
Trust me, if you pick a good guide, they will not lead you astray.
Any other guides that you... Who can we speak to for other guides? I'm sorry.
I have a very good friend. Her name is Iku. I can hook you up with her if you want. She is very, very nice. Very, very nice. She knows all about the temples and stuff. Yes?
Yes, please.
Very well. Come back here tomorrow. I will organize Iku to come and meet you here.
Can I buy a healing potion from?
Of course you can buy a healing potion from me! Oh, buy! Get this man a healing potion! That will be 80 gold pieces.
Here you go.
Alright. Add a potion of healing. Friends, I know Sindra is sick, but the clerics are saying she has over 3 months left. I'm not saying to dawdle and waste your time here in Port Nyanzaru, but perhaps if you spend a few days here, you'll become better acquainted with Chult as a country and also as a hazard. It is dangerous out there in the jungle. And there are undead scouring the trees, the grass, the bushes, the swamps. There has been many, many undead, even more lately from what I have heard. It is dangerous. Make sure you are prepared. And then you can go out.
I'm sure we will need some time in the city to adjust to this heat.
Of course, of course, of course. Make sure you get that guide. Iko, she will come when I will call for her. Now, me and Sindra, we have some business to do, isn't that right, Sindra? You know she doesn't have long left to live, and she needs to enjoy many pleasures in her life. Oh, Wakanga, please. They don't need to hear about that. Obaya, fill up my hot tub. Let us go, Sindra. My cold tub. Alright, so, yeah, Obaya will see you guys out now. If you ever want to come back and trade with Wakanga, that's 2 merchant princes that you've got a contact with now. And I think we'll wrap it up here for today. It's a good spot to finish up. So yeah, had a little bit of an introduction into Port Nyanzaru. And got a couple of quests out of the way. So see you guys next week.
See you all next week.
I am so
Let
looking
us
forward
have-
to it.
Alright. Take care, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. And I'll see you then. Later, guys.
Yep.
Later.
And everyone else watching, thank you very much for watching the stream. Gonna be back same time next week with more Tomb of Annihilation as we explore more of Port Nyanzaru. I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.